Like the Numidium comes back and wages war on the moon with the Dark Elves or something.
Listen to that again. Wages of war on the moon.
Okay,
Not on the moon. On the moon. Like
against it.
Fuck the moon.
And then
Like that famous Yu-Gi-Oh card, Attack the Moon.
Attack the Moon.
Like
yeah.
Piccolo when he's trying to stop the monkey transformation.
Okay.
Fuck the moon. I'm the moon now.
Okay.
It's always funny too because there's like a dude wearing like a fucking like duct tape Batman suit, so it looks super ghetto. Hey, we're doing another podcast, fellas.
We don't need this.
Wait, can this be like the sound test to see how we're sounding?
Hello.
It wouldn't be any different than how it was during the podcast or during the.
Did you do a sound test then?
Yeah.
Okay. Did I sound okay? Because I feel like I'm kind of.
If you're leaning back, probably not so
Lean
much,
back.
but I got a feeling that give it about 15 to 20 minutes and you'll be louder than
Do
you
it
would be.
again.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right.
Do it again.
So here's who's here now in this podcast?
You go first.
Ryan.
It's Chance. I'm here always.
Caleb's on his fucking laptop and it's Xavier.
I'm Kaleb.
What are you doing?
Making Arquebus.
Okay.
The last time we did this was let me look that up.
Like 2 months ago.
It was the Stranger.
Things.
Yeah.
It was Doctor Strange visits the dentist.
Yeah, that was a good name, by the way.
That's almost coming out, by the way.
That's not true.
So this is like the second
2
episode
months ago.
of
That was
season
2 months ago.
3.
Yeah.
Of
Second
Hanging
episode
with-
of season 3, our 22nd episode.
Yeah. Every
Oh,
time,
yeah.
I do
Yeah.
another season of Hanging.
Damn, it's been a long ass time since we uploaded a straw. No, not okay. It hasn't been a long time since a straw episode. I lied.
We just did
You're
a
a liar.
D&D one shot.
Yeah, we
Another
just
one.
did.
Now,
That was fucking great.
Since I said that, I need to upload the one shot before I upload this Hanging with the Boys.
Haha,
Not
bitch.
necessarily.
Yeah, we don't got it.
I mean,
We kind of dated a bit.
I mean, but we don't have to talk about it.
It'll
Really.
be out when it's out.
Yeah.
It'll be out when it's out.
So
Yeah.
We like that.
We like
It'll be
that.
out when it's
And
out.
we like that.
So I mentioned that I had like a topic I was thinking about because like
Speak your truth, King.
because again I'm fucking evangelizing for Trails and nobody can stop me, but they pretty much brought up in the last game that I played.
I'm the most stubborn man alive. You can't get me to do anything.
That's fine. I don't give a fuck. I've already given up on you, so
Damn.
I can't get you to do anything because you stay in your own lane and you don't like to do shit, but you like to tell other people to do shit.
Yeah.
He's right.
He's the unstoppable. Oh no, he's the immovable force.
Exactly.
I'm the unstoppable force and he's the immovable object.
Yeah. So it's like
That's a wrestling
I've
thing.
tried, I've explained it, I've even introduced you to things, and you just don't do it. So I've like,
Well,
okay.
I just every single time I've tried to get in another like JRPG, I honestly can't. Like I'll play it for like maybe 2, 3, 4 hours and then.
I mean, it happens. It happens honestly because like they start off slow. That's my problem too.
You
Yeah.
did it with Yakuza. You did it with. I guess you can count Fire Emblem.
Yakuza. I never the last 2 Fire Emblem games I didn't finish. I never finished Chrono Trigger. I never finished Terra Enigma. I never finished Xenogears.
Chronicles?
No, Xenogears.
Oh, like OG Xenogears.
Yeah, we bought
Even
it
though
for Vita.
13 Sentinels isn't an RPG.
And 13 Sentinels does count, I guess.
It's a strategy game.
Yeah,
Strategy RPG.
yeah.
But still, it's like I don't know, man.
World of Final Fantasy.
I mean, I'm with you. I feel like I need a specific type of itch to be scratched for me to like an RPG.
Yeah.
And like, cause when I was bored before I bought Kuro, I had Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 8 and 9 on deck, and I tried 8. I even looked up how the junction system worked. I'm like, wow, that's actually 10 times more simpler than I thought it was. Apologies, Derek. And I'm like, fuck, okay, I can play this game. I got like 30 minutes in. I'm like, dude, I don't want to play this anymore.
What made you stop playing it?
It didn't grab me. It did not grab me.
I want to play 9 because I like the idea of the train system.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like, I mean, it's probably for cheap right now, but like, I have 9, but like the 9, the hardest get up for 9 for me is the art
I
style.
was gonna say the art style.
And it's really
totally
fucked up because I hear that's one of the better Final Fantasy
There's that
games.
one still of I think Bahamut fighting Alexander that looks so fucking radical.
Yeah, but then I look at Steiner and I'm like, no, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just me. But
I should play Final Fantasy 6 and actually beat it because I played like in a few
6
hours
is a
of
fucking
it.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
People can say what they want about 7.
And a lot
7's
of-
good.
Oh, like, what was it? Up to 6, I think, got re-released recently. 1 through 6.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Pixel One
it's
collection.
It's weird because the text is really HD and everything else is pixelated.
It's like
it
the-
throws me off.
The those games on phones, that's what they're like.
The picture is rad.
What picture?
Bahamut versus
Bahamut versus Alexander. It's so fucking
Oh.
rad!
Really?
God, it's so cool!
I'll have to look it up later.
Oh my god, it's so fucking cool.
But yeah, so that brings me to the topic of what is your favorite depiction of like time travel in video games or in media?
Ooh.
I'm gonna be real honest here.
I know that most people hate it, but if you had to pick a good one.
I thought that, while really dumb that it was introduced to the series, I thought the Kingdom Hearts way was decent.
Okay.
Having a body in the past to go to.
Like having the medium.
Yeah, having the medium to do so.
Yeah, so I know that we've talked about Kingdom Hearts a lot, but with that, I've come to the conclusion that I'm on a fence where I cannot tell if Nomura is a fucking genius and the rest of us are stupid, or he's writing expecting us to get it, and we're just...
Is he Kanyeing this?
He might be, because like on that similar notion of Kingdom Hearts, I watched like a 2-hour video of this dude explaining the plot of Remaster of FF7 Remaster, and it's like realistically what it is telling you is that they didn't remaster the game, or not remaster, but like it's Sephiroth remastering this timeline or remake. That's what it's called. Remake.
So
he's remaking the timeline, and we don't fucking see it happening until it's too late.
So the game still, the original game still existed and it still happened, but it's the villain went back and oh my, that's weird.
Yeah, because like
So the
That's a really cool concept, but I think a lot of a lot of people really wanted just a 1-to-1 remake of Final Fantasy VII, and it
that's
would
what most
have
people
made, it
thought
still
they
would have
were
made
getting.
fucking beans regardless.
yeah, but I mean like a lot of people
Not
are still on
beans,
board
the
for
opposite.
this
Yeah.
because like
What's the opposite of beans?
it's
Nuts.
Bread.
yeah, beans.
Yeah, bread.
No,
bread.
it's green juice.
No, bread. We're making bread.
But yeah, no, it's like again, like if you watch this video, the dude's arguments are like you're either really fucking insane or Nomura is just way smarter than everybody else is giving him credit for, and that's really hard to tell, especially with the shit they just dropped for Kingdom Hearts 4.
It's just really fucking silly because there's a scene where Hojo's about to appear way earlier on, and the fucking time ghosts pull him back. Like, no,
Right.
you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, because
That's so fucking stupid.
but it would fuck up the timeline.
Oh.
And that's the entire thing. Sephiroth's trying to change the timeline so that Zack doesn't die, Cloud doesn't become the person that he is to defeat him, and he fucks up the world.
So that makes sense of why you were mad. Like, oh, the character development's not going to happen. It's because the villain was behind it the whole time.
The villain was behind it the whole time, and the
Oh,
development
shit.
already happened. Because Aerith even knows that everything fucking happened in that game, and she's telling Cloud off rip right before the final
Don't
battle,
fall in love with me.
don't fall in love with me,
Yeah.
because you will fucking be sad.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Like, she is, like...
You've already got Tifa. She obviously wants the hot streak.
She is fourth wall breaking on that shit. Because she knows...
Should I play this game?
You have to, like...
You
it's
gotta
almost-
play the original.
You have to play the original.
You can't just step in and...
Unfortunately, no. Because...
Oh, yeah, with this new revelation,
Like,
I guess not.
okay.
Yeah.
You could, but you'd be lost in a lot of stuff.
Correct.
God damn it.
Yeah. Like...
I was gonna
Just play 7.
I was gonna play the 7 remake when all the parts come out eventually on one like big collection.
That's gonna be fucking 10 years
Yeah.
from now.
Well, I know.
10 years.
I'm willing to wait
Like,
for the quote greatest game,
Right.
greatest RPG of all time.
right, but it's like,
unquote.
again, it's like they added Integrate, right? Integrate introduces Deep Ground. Part of the
Yeah,
stupidest part of
God.
the fucking FF7 storyline.
God, he's gonna fuck up the fucking...
Next to Gact as Genesis.
He's gonna fuck up the fucking series.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Said
fuck
it.
up the series.
Yeah, but it's canon, and they want to make
I
sure that
hate
it's
that.
canon. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's either super genius or he's fucking stupid. I can't.
Is this
tell
his
which one.
revenge for not getting his original like Final Fantasy 15?
No, that's what Kingdom Hearts 4 is.
I feel like all of this is his revenge.
I don't know, man. Anyways, back to the initial question.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, my initial answer, I think Kingdom Hearts is decent in that way.
I think they just did it a little bit too much.
Yeah. The way Endgame kind of explained it, where like when you go back to the past, but your past is no longer the past; it's now your present. It was kind of like, oh yeah, okay, that makes
Okay.
sense.
You got one?
Yeah, I like Infamous 1.
Okay.
Explain it to me,
Wait,
'cause I know.
there was time travel in Infamous?
There was.
Did you never play the
Travel
first
in
one?
Infamous.
I played the first one a
So-
lot. I don't remember that at all.
The main character is the final boss.
Yeah.
Kessler is Cole from the future.
What? Did it explain this?
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Also,
Vividly.
I was like in middle school when I played it.
Me too.
10-year revelation
So,
broken.
but I don't remember a lot, but I remember that having a lot of fun in that game. I have it over there. It's right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I played the second one for only like 12 hours.
Yeah, the second one's the best one.
I didn't have as much fun with it.
Yeah, so it's basically Kessler in the future goes back in time to kickstart Cole's like journey into getting his power, so he could be ready when the Beast shows up to destroy Empire City. Which, spoiler for Infamous 2, he still isn't.
Interesting. Okay. I forgot. If there was time travel, I completely forgot about it then.
Yeah.
What's there?
It's not like
It's a smaller aspect. Of the
yeah,
game.
It's just a revelation plot.
yeah, they tell you right before the final boss,
And that's the shit that I like.
and it's still one of my like favorite final bosses in a
Yeah.
game.
What about you, Ryan?
I'm thinking. I'm literally looking at my game shelf. To
Okay.
ask this
So
I
question.
think Rebels is also
I
pretty
have-
close.
Oh.
Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Here's the issue. The only one or I guess two I can think of that are good ones are the only ones I can think of even exist that I've played.
Okay.
So I need to keep thinking about maybe some ones that are bad so I can compare.
Okay.
So
So, I'm going to say mine, and it's a spoiler for the Crossbell arc for Trails of Zero and Trails of Azure, because I know you guys are going to play them anyway. So at the beginning of the first Trails game, or of the Crossbell arc for Trails to Zero, you start off going into a building with your four main characters being like Tita, Ellie, Lloyd, and Randy, right? And you go through, and then it takes you to flashback, and you play through the entire game. And you get to the end, and you get to that final boss area, because it was like a showing the players what's happening, and it has 2 extra characters added onto it, and you can just come to the assumption it's like, oh, they just didn't want to add them in there because they didn't want to spoil it for you, right? And then you get all the way to the end of the second game, and it turns out that one of the main characters have the ability to manipulate time. And at the point of the original timeline where you see that beginning portion, all four of those characters died. And the girl was so sad that she rewrote time for them so that they would have extra help so that they could continue the timeline. And it was just so subtle, and nobody knew it until the end of the second game. And it was so fucking good. And they recently reused that plot again in Hajimari, where at the end of Cold Steel 4, there's 2 different endings. One where the main character like dies after he accepts like the curse of the land into him, and the second one is that the happy friendship ending, and that's the one that continues on Hajimari. And then once you get to the end of the game, the main character from the Crossbow arc who's there, he's like, it's just like this time. It's just like the time where this little girl rewrote reality for us so that we could live. Somehow that happened again, and a version of you from an alternate timeline came here with the complete being of time as his partner, and is trying to create a unified nation. And I sat there, I'm just like, that's fucking good, because that's a plotline that only got used twice, and they did it excellently. I like that, where it's like it's the final snippet of the game where you find out that there's a time travel plot, so it's not the main...
It happened underneath your nose.
Right, it's not like 13-2, where like the whole game is time travel, and at the end your main character dies. And then her body gets taken over by something.
Yeah.
So weird.
I thought Titanfall 2 was really good.
They had time travel in Titanfall 2?
I'm literally looking at a Wikipedia page. All games with time travel, so I can jog my memory.
Okay.
So
apparently, Black Ops had time travel.
It's not necessarily...
Black Ops from Black Ops 1 to
Escape.
Black Ops 4 devolved into like schizo like fucking plot lines. Anyways, I love it in games when they take some really big fucking tech and they just like dumb it down and into like a mundane thing.
Mm-hmm.
For Titanfall 2, they give you a glove that allows you to time travel like in your initial area when you close your fist to and you use that to platform. So like there's like a section of the area that you got to run around in, but it's in a sea of fire. So you use your ability, you run through, you use it again, you're back in the main time.
Okay. That's time manipulation. That counts.
And I love that because it's such a fucking mundane thing that gets thrown out after this fucking...
We have the ability to stop time right here.
We have the ability to time travel, and it's in the usage of a glove.
Right.
It's so fucking dumb and stupid, and I love it.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I can't.
Did Scooby-Doo ever have time travel?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm sure. I don't know.
Cyber Chase wasn't time.
I'm not confirming, but I'm sure it
Scooby-Doo
exists.
Cyberscape
Dark Souls 1.
had time travel.
Yes.
Apparently, Dragon Age had.
Yes, it
travel.
does. It does.
Artorias was told to be the one that defeated the Abyss and destroy like the Abyss, but in reality he got overtaken. It was your character that went back in time,
Spider-Man: Edge of Time.
defeated Artorias and defeated the Abyss, and that gave Artorias his legacy.
There's time travel
And
in Scooby-Doo.
it's why when you fight Sif in the graveyard, he sniffs you and recognizes you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one too. You become the hero that you basically, in a way, aspire to be because you hear about his legacy.
I like how the time travel in Voros was just we have a time machine, we can just use that.
Yeah, we can just fuck time.
It's weird. Boros' time travel's weird.
Because I like
because
it.
I have a weird brain and how.
No, I liked it because of how fucking simple it was. There wasn't so much.
It was a little
like,
campy.
Like here's there, you go there, here, there. Oh, here's what happens.
Well,
It's just, here's a time travel machine. You can use it.
There's a lot more to it, but we'll explore in season 3.
Well, yeah.
So, you want to hear
shit.
mine?
I feel like Ratchet and Clank has had it.
Rift in Time.
Rift in Time, yeah.
So my original answer is Jack 2.
Jack 2 is time travel?
Yes. The Jack series in general has time travel in it.
Huh.
It was the first one I ever experienced as a kid, I guess I could say.
Mhm.
No, that's wrong. But I had no concept of time travel when I was really little.
Right.
My first experience was Crash 3 Warped.
Warped! Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Because all the levels, you go in
Go back in
different
time,
time
yeah.
periods.
And Crash 4 is about time.
Yeah. So yeah, Jack 2 has time travel. I don't know if you guys care about the story of that game.
I've played Jack 2 and Jack 3. I never played the first one because I did not like platforming like that.
You don't remember the time travel aspect?
No.
Do you remember the little boy in Jack 2 that you escort in a couple of the missions?
No.
If I show you a thing,
It's been so long. I've wanted to replay the Jack games, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
I feel like the Cyber Sleuth games had some sort of time travel or
they
something.
might have.
Where am I tripping?
You might be tripping.
Did you play the second one?
This
I have Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Baby Jack.
yeah, that's Jack.
Yeah. I have.
Well, they should have made it less obvious. He's got blue pants and same color hair.
Yeah, but it's like.
He wears this necklace.
Isn't that just a fucking one of those orbs you collect in the first game?
No, it's a precursor necklace.
Well, it looks.
And it's the necklace of a guy called Mar. And Mar is said to have built Haven City in Jack 2. So it is implied that Jack is either an alternate version of Mar or is Mar, the one who built this giant city, or at least was like the king of the whole Haven City stuff. And it's really cool because he's like a deific being.
Sure.
There's an episode of Scooby-Doo where Malcolm McDowell plays a time traveler.
Okay.
He takes him into the ultraviolet future of Clockwork Orange.
You're fucking with me.
I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, of course.
But my
They wouldn't fucking put Scooby-Doo in Clockwork Orange.
No, but well, I mean, they would.
They put Supernatural in it.
Kubrick
Why
would.
not?
Kubrick, yeah, but Kubrick's dead. He was killed
Yeah.
because Eyes Wide Shut was exploring. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
What were you gonna
Michael
say,
McDowell
Ryan?
was in Scooby-Doo though.
I'll wait.
As a time traveler.
This is
They just didn't go to
retarded.
Clockwork Orange.
Okay.
But my real answer that will make me cry every time I watch it
But your other name?
is a Pokemon game.
Ah, yep.
Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Darkness, Time, or Sky. All of them.
Never get into it.
Specifically Sky, because it has an after episode of the actual story where... How do I explain this?
You don't.
Pull a Persona 3 on you.
They pull a Persona 3 on you.
That's unfortunate.
Where it's basically like a thing where you're following the story of a Grovyle, a Dusknoir, and a Celebi.
Okay.
And the Grovyle is... It's weird. They go meta as shit. And the Grovyle is supposed to be your player, real-life best friend in the game. Your best friend is in this game.
Okay.
My best friend.
Your best friend, Caleb,
Because
is in this
because
game.
in these games, you
Get
the person
transported
playing are
into the
isekai
Pokemon.
into the Pokemon.
Right.
And then Grovyle in the main story is also he's also in the main story, but he has his own little story afterward, and it's like, no, he's your best friend from when you were a human.
Oh,
So your best friend is in this game.
that's crazy.
And that character and the Celebi have like this kind of on and off like
Romantic
will they or won't they kind of
Right.
thing. The final boss is Dialga.
Okay.
And this is a world where the sun has never shined because of Dialga, and like it's been Barovia kind of look like thing to it.
Right.
We're like, oh, it's all foggy and cloudy. And at the very end, the Dustmore is like a friend, that I guess of them or something. I don't remember the story that much. But at the very end, you defeat Dialga, whatever, and you cause what Dialga did to make time all shitty and stay still in this place.
I thought Dialga was space.
Stop. No, Palkia is space.
Oh, the Palkio's time. Oh, shit.
Blue, Dialga, time. Pink, Palkia, space.
He's correct.
You
No, time is pink. Time
you
is
let
a woman.
time
Time is
stop be frozen or whatever.
God,
Yeah.
it's a woman.
And what happens is
They stole my time.
Celebi is not Celebi and Dustnor and Grovile. They're not supposed to be here. They kind of had to go back to like a point to defeat Dialga before.
Oh, yeah, doesn't Celebi
kind of thing.
time travel when she's introduced in,
Yeah.
what is it, Pokemon like 3?
Pokemon
She
Forever.
is a time traveling kind
You go
of
back. I think they go
Pokemon.
back in time in that. movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ash, Brock, and Misty go back in time. They meet Professor Oak before he becomes a Pokemon professor.
Yeah. So what happens is that
It just explains how he fucks his mom.
it plays like a main theme of the game leitmotif that's
Uh-huh.
really sad, and Celebi finally gets to see because she's like from I don't know, it's really complicated, but
Detroit.
she's from the time where the sun has never shined,
Right.
and the sun starts to shine as she's fading away,
It's always...
and Grovile's holding her and saying like I love you, and they're both like dying, and
Oh.
I'm like oh
Interesting.
it's playing the song, and you're like
Why'd they go that hard in a fucking?
I know,
game?
right?
Being turned into a Pokemon, I'll never know.
You know what's like a weird time travel that I like? It's Chronicles of Narnia.
I listened to the timeline about that shit. It is so fucking insane how little that like the author has written about the legit like books.
I think that's.
You get the books. That's what you get.
There's no
Yeah.
like. There's no,
I
like,
kind
Bible
of
for the
like
series.
that because it fuels endless discussion about stuff.
They explain the entire timeline. You just
Yeah.
only see everything from the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe till like the end of
Is it-
like.
Well, Magician's Nephew shows the creation.
Yeah,
Does it?
which
It's,
is
it's a prequel.
I-
Yeah, tell him.
okay.
You
So,
guys, no. Every time we talk about this, you guys get fucking Prince Caspian and something else mixed up.
no, it's not that. I was given a set of these books for a
too.
gift, and
I never read them.
they weren't. They were in order of chronological, not release.
Not publication.
Okay.
So I read them not the way you're supposed to, because you're supposed to read Love the Lion, the Witch, and Wardrobe first.
Right.
I read The Magician's Nephew first.
So you saw the creation of the universe.
So I heard everything about the rings and the fucking
Right.
wardrobe and everything, and then I read it everything in that way first. So it was.
Was that a
apparently-
better experience?
I don't know.
Well, he doesn't know the other side.
I don't know.
I know the other side. I don't know what he's talking about. Because I read Magician's Nephew the 6th, like you're supposed
Right.
I
Like-
read
like-
that as the first one.
to. Like a real
What's the
red-blooded Christian
What's the
American.
difference? What's the difference with someone who has no idea, like me?
Because it introduced the concept of a prequel to a very small child. I had no idea you could do that.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying what story do you like gain from each side? What's better?
I understand what he's saying. Well,
It's basically, it's like,
What's the advantage to each?
It's
So in-
it's the mystery of learning how this world became what it is versus slowly being introduced to plot threads and points and like specific.
It's like Star Wars. If you already know who Vader is, it's not
It's not a fucking story.
So
yeah.
if you start with one,
So
it's
if
like,
you know-
that's, yeah, that's what it was. Because it was like,
'Cause if you know who
the
the-
white bitch are doing evil shit.
Yeah,
and
if you know
Lion,
who the
Wardrobe,
queen is.
why?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the Magician's Nephew tells you why.
Yeah.
okay.
But it is the second to last
So
book that
so
was
it,
released.
it becomes less of why and this bitch again.
Which is still the funniest like parody movie gag. They just called her the white bitch.
It's not why. It's Anakin again, but
It's
Yeah.
Stifler's
in a
mom.
helmet.
Yeah, it's like he's here. Darth Vader is alive.
Yeah.
Versus like shit, Darth you already know that Anakin is Luke's father,
But Anakin.
but it's like by that point.
Bananakin.
Yeah.
But by that point, you're like, yeah, I already know that. Why?
got a lot of
Why
appeal.
is Luke screaming like a bitch right now? It's like, why is it impacting him so much? I know. Yeah, I know that's his dad. It's not. I hate you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
So, yeah, no. For years, I thought that was how you're supposed to read it first. The first book, Magician's Nephew, because I think this.
The collection my mom told me to read the Magician's Nephew first too.
Yeah, because I think that's the.
Then I never read any of them.
Because it said that was the first one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, see, I did have a collection. I had like the individual books.
Right.
Bought for me. I had older editions.
I did something similar to that, where like there's a book called like the Dark Hunter series, which is like a weird twist on like the different pantheon of the gods and like vampires and shit. It's weird. It's really weird.
Sounds kind of cool.
It also has like a lot of sex in it. But one of the books was my inspiration for Fel.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that.
But I read the sequel series about one of the characters that gets introduced in like the second book, and he has his whole timelines. But I read that entire series first before I went back to the main novels, and that's also kind of like a time travel plot in the same way, because the main character of the sub-series, the teen novel basically, is trying to go back in time and stop himself from becoming a Dark Lord that destroys the entire world.
Huh.
Because he's part of an ancient demon timeline that legitimately fucks the world sideways. How do you feel about 15's time travel?
It was kind of realistic.
To the future.
The time skip?
Yeah,
it was a time skip. I remembered what it was. It was no, I didn't. I just lost it. It's a spoiler for Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. Do you mind?
No, I don't give a fuck.
That's time travel. Kinda.
I'm asking
I'm
Caleb.
gonna play it anyways.
Okay, so.
So don't say anything.
Oh.
Well,
There you go.
were you guys gonna talk about Final Fantasy first?
Oh, I mean, I didn't care for it only because you don't get to spend much time in the future, so it didn't really matter.
The add-on expansion for the multiplayer stuff explains what happens in between.
Which is dumb. It should not do
it's
that.
It's really fucking stupid.
We missed out on like Night Hunter Iris.
Yeah.
Kind of like how a mobile game kind of goes into Kingdom Hearts.
We missed out on Ignis learning how to use his no eyes to benefit.
I can't, like, on that similar note, the fact that the Kingdom Hearts like mobile phone games are so fucking important.
I hate that.
It hurts me.
I fucking hate that so
much.
There's nothing
That's
I hate
the worst.
more than a franchise when a franchise that has really rich lore like Bionicle and something.
Bionicle.
It isn't all like
God.
compiled into one thing. You
No,
have to
I hear
read
you,
this
dude.
and this
I
and
think
this. and
Bionicle
this.
is literally
I
the
hate
worst.
that.
I
hate it.
I think no other series takes the cake worse than Bionicle.
Yeah.
I can't
In
think
that
of
aspect.
anything worse.
Like, yeah.
Doctor Who.
No, it's because it's.
Yo.
I mean.
Or
it's
like
been
Dr.
on for
Stinky
forever.
Shoe.
But yeah, no, Kingdom Hearts, man, you just find out that the bad guy in the main series is just your player character from the phone game reincarnated.
Is that real?
Really?
Yes.
You're playing Xehanort's ancestor?
No, not Xehanort's ancestor. You are the previous incarnation of Xehanort. At the end of Key, when he dies by trying to seal the darknesses, his charity gives him the option to go into a deep sleep. All the other characters all the dandelions that go into the deep sleep become the Dream Eaters that you play in Dream Drop Distance. And then he decides that he doesn't want to do that, and he gets reincarnated as Xehanort. Because at the beginning of Dark Road, he remembers everything that the player character did in Unchained Key.
I hate this shit.
Get excited.
I fucking hate. No, I'm not.
I kind of, I don't know. I kind of like the trope of the main villain is you from a different time period.
That's
I do
cool.
too, but when it's done good.
But
Yeah.
what I fucking hate is when the main character or the main antagonist has a redemption arc the last 2 seconds of his life.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
That's what Kingdom Hearts 3 did, and it did it bad. But Cold Steel did the same thing, and it worked.
Even with Kingdom Hearts 3, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a true redemption. It was just like
his entire motive operandi was, I'm going to destroy the world with darkness.
Oh, yeah.
So that because the world is gonna get destroyed with darkness anyway. So if I unbalance the world,
a true nihilist. But
Yeah.
remember what we do to true nihilists. We kill them.
We fucking kill him.
We fucking kill
Yeah,
them.
it's like his entire thing was, I was trying to protect the world and start a new reign under my rule to help them move forward, because I believe I'm the only one I can do so. It doesn't change the fact that I murdered / ruined the lives of like 19 fucking people.
Yeah, multiple people.
And then
I think
and then at the end it's like all it took was the old man who died like 16 games ago to say, "Yo, you gotta let the new generation handle this bullshit." It's like,
I think
oh,
that
I guess
was
you're right. Here you go. I'm dead now.
I didn't.
Oh, here you go.
I didn't interpret that as like a true redemption. I just interpreted that as Iraq was having his last word with his one of his oldest friends. Just the last final word between that ends that capstones their entire fucking like story.
But the thing is, like, you weren't able to put that man into the dirt. That's the problem.
He just died.
They let us on for 15 years.
He said, "You won't kill me. I just give up." You didn't win.
That's like Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan died surrounded by his family and his loved ones. And he ruined the lives of many other people.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
He won.
Like,
Based!
dude, look. He took over Terra's body, right?
Yeah.
He threw Aqua into the realm of darkness.
Yeah.
Destroyed Ven's entire life.
Yeah.
More than it already was super fucked up beforehand.
Yeah.
Now that we have the information.
Like how Reagan took over the White House and took over and destroyed black people's lives. There we go.
Yeah. But on top of that, he forced Terra to kill Ericus.
I'm not going to use the darkness because it's dark.
Exactly, and then
Is that Ronald Reagan?
yeah,
Reagan.
Ronald Reagan as a Keyblade wielder.
The whiteness of the cocaine situation cleanses dark
And
menace.
not only that, but like then he goes and after he takes over Terra's body, kills and makes every one of the students in Radiant Garden and more people out of the Radiant Garden part of his scientific heart subjects. And all he get was, "Hey, no, stop that. Leave it to the kids." Like, oh, okay, fuck it, I died.
Yep.
It's so stupid.
I liked the time travel in Kingdom Hearts because you need a place to go back to, but they never fucking explain how to do it. They just show it happening.
The way you do it is that your soul has to leave your body.
I know, but
My soul
how
leaves
does
my
that
body
happen?
every time we talk about
Just
this.
do it. Unless you
I like it,
have
but
an
don't.
arc, you literally decide to say, I don't need to live on this physical plane anymore, and then
So
your
you
heart
just say-
jumps out of your fucking chest. And
Speaking of which, I like the 40 different times Futurama time travels.
yeah,
Yeah.
Each one's different and each one's good.
yeah.
She was like, I want to go back.
It's pretty much what it is. And then the only way that you can hit that point in time that you want to go to is that somebody has to remember your existence. Do you remember Kingdom Hearts 2 when Maleficent comes back?
Was that
That's
was that time travel?
Yes. Do you want to know when that happened?
When?
In Kingdom Hearts 2.
In Kingdom Hearts Key.
Oh, I know she showed up in Key.
She showed up in Key after she died in 1.
Yeah.
And then for her to go back to the normal time, and the reason why she's looking for the box is because she time traveled from that realm to that point in time because the 3 fairies remembered who she was.
Oh, that's what.
That's super canon. That's super duper canon.
Do we know what the box is, or is that
Nope.
Or is that
No,
Kingdom
we
Hearts
don't.
4?
It's gonna be some dumb shit where it's like, oh, here. No.
I believe it's the entrance
I
to Quadratum.
I
That's
honestly
it.
don't fucking know.
It's an easier way to get to Quadratum.
No, it's just gonna be it's gonna be an entrance to Verum Rex. That's what's gonna happen.
That's
the series,
Quadratum.
the series is gonna be done, and then here's this going there. Oh,
That's what-
Here's the way
here's-
it's going to be.
here's OG versus 13.
It's going to be something that propels the series to have 7 more sequels.
Correct. We're already there, though.
And you know what? I feel
We're
free.
getting Ahsoka in Kingdom Hearts 4, I'm calling it.
I feel completely free.
They could.
You might.
They could just do
Have you
that.
seen the trailer?
I didn't care enough to watch.
They put, like, an Endor parallel in there. There's a foot of an AT-AT in there. I'm not fucking with you.
Well, looks like I have to play the whole Kingdom Hearts series.
Yeah.
It can't just be an AT-AT. It has to be.
It's the same foot.
It could be an ATST.
Sure. Sure, it could be.
Wait, Chance, what were you going to
Endor?
talk about?
But the thing is, it's in a
Just
forest.
mentioned
It's something
it.
they show.
Oh yeah, no, there were no AT-ATs on
Remember?
Endor. There was ATSTs.
Yeah, ATSTs then. It was like, it was
ATSTs
whatever
are
the fucking foot is. I don't know. I don't know the machines. But it's there. It's clearly there. Everybody matched it up. Like, they took pictures from it and put them. They are one for one the same fucking foot.
We're gonna get Ahsoka in
You might.
Anyways,
We're gonna get Ahsoka and Grogu.
I've become more okay with the possibility of that happening.
All I want.
it would have been fine with if
This-
it was
this-
just like a secret boss with Vader, and that's it.
This is what I want. This is what'll draw me into the whole series. If I find out that Dr. Facilier is in the game.
Who the fuck is that?
He's the bad
villain
guy from Princess and the Frog.
Princess and the Frog.
Oh,
manipulates demons.
Baron,
Baron Samedi?
Yeah.
Not Baron Samedi, yeah.
Slash Papa Ligma.
It's potential.
Papa Ligma?
Papa Ligma. Yeah.
It's potential. I mean, I think their main goal is to
I mean,
not
Sora's
have...
in the real world, and they're black people in the real world.
But they're saying
Yeah,
that
Chance,
version
there
of
are.
Sora is specific to that world.
I'm
What were you going to talk about, Chance?
I'm done. I'm absolutely done with Kingdom Hearts.
That's
I've
fine.
never
You're still
touched
gonna look it up.
I might.
You're still gonna look it up.
I might, but I'm just gonna.
There's too many unanswered
I'm not
questions.
gonna play it. I legitimately don't care.
Okay.
I legitimately don't care.
All right.
Anyways,
If I come
Breath
back,
of the Wild spoilers.
That's what it is, yeah.
It has this is gonna have spoilers for the main game too.
I mean, I know it's non-canon, so.
It might.
And even then,
Hey.
do I care about Zelda canon? I'm not sure.
Breath of the Wild
It's
2
fun.
might expand on this too, right?
I don't think so. So the beginning of Breath of the Wild, Age of Calamity, I Reward Age of Calamity,
Age
has
of
this little,
Calamity?
Age of Calamity
Age of
has this
Age.
weird little egg thing that wasn't in the main game
Right.
appear through this little portal back in time, and that's the thing that can control time. At the points, have you played Breath of the Wild?
Nope.
So there are these 4 different guardians that control these giant mechs
Mhm.
that they all died in the previous in the main timeline.
Yeah.
They're not their descendants, but they're current day, I guess, versions of themselves that you meet throughout the Breath of the Wild.
Are these like reincarnations of the old warriors?
They're not reincarnations. They're just current day versions of them, because that old like system isn't like in place in the current world of Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
But if it was, these are who they would be.
Okay.
They time travel from that time to the time where all the 4 guardians are about to die, and then they like prevent that, which I think is dumb. And then they like it. I just thought it was really dumb how they did it. It wasn't a good way to do it. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, it feels like it's hard to explain.
Yeah, it is and isn't hard. It's non-canon, so it doesn't really matter. But
Oh, it's not canon.
yeah.
Oh.
Anyways,
I think we're all good unless anybody has one more thing to say about old time travel games.
I need to get Lego Star Wars.
doesn't 13 Sentinels have time travel?
I have yet to play that game.
Some weird schizo time travel shit.
It's supposed to be really complicated. So I hear.
I like the concept of Pelennor Whitestrake being a cyborg,
Brother,
a racist cyborg from the future.
a justified
A justified-
racist cyborg from the future.
What?
Hold
Explain.
You explain why
So-
I look up Crusader metal.
So, Pelennor Whitestrake was this man who had come
What game
to
is this?
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
In the lore,
You
had,
gotta explain it. You can't just expect me to know
No,
the
no.
fucking
Pelennor
name.
Whitestrake
That
was
sounded
this-
like a robot master.
a little bit. Pelennor Whitestrake
Bella, no, right? Straight.
was a man who had come to help the slave queen Alessia, who was currently at this time she was the leader of the
I fucking love Elder Scrolls.
She was
the leader of the
She
Imperials.
founded the Empire, right?
She founded the Empire.
The First Empire.
yeah,
And
the
she
first
was
Empire.
she was rebelling against the Aelids, who were a different kind of elf that are no longer
The
in
proto-elves.
the Elder Scrolls because they were completely fucking like wiped out
Okay.
because Pelennor kicked all their asses. The Aelids had enslaved the ancient Imperials named the Needs. They would take their bodies, turn them into gut gardens, like strewn.
Yeah.
So, like take all their guts and organs and put them around like a garden and be like, oh, this is cool.
Oh
Just
shit,
do a
that's
bunch-
metal as fuck.
Look at my manner.
They would
It's
do a
opulence.
bunch of fucking horrible shit to them, and Alessia
Smells
was
like
like,
shit, but
and
it's
Alessia was like, I don't like that anymore. You're gonna stop. And Pelennor Whitestrake was a man who descended from fucking heaven,
Reportedly.
in the lore, in the universe, it said he had a killing light in his right hand and a sword in his left. A killing light meaning like a fucking bolt, a fucking like 40k bolter, like a fucking like plasma gun.
Like a Mega Man Buster.
Yeah, he had. There was at one point where he got so fucking mad that he had like strewn a path of bodies across this entire thing while shouting the name of a future king.
Who was it?
Raymond.
Is Raymond.
Raymond, yeah.
The future king Ray.
A future.
And it really happened,
of
right?
the future king
Cyrodiil.
of the
Cyrodiil.
second era, 300 years in the future.
And he killed these gut garden people.
And then
Aelids.
here's my thing. The Elder Scrolls 4 happens, right? And in one of the DLCs, Umaro the Untethered,
Who was one of the last surviving?
the last king of the Aelids,
Yeah.
is like in the process of getting resurrected. And so the main character, the whole expansion is you don the armor of Pelennor Whitestrake, go find Umaro reincarnated, kill him, follow him into the afterlife, and kill him again.
Whoa, that's metal.
It took all like 5 or 6 of the Aelid kings tearing apart like the pieces, like tearing apart Pelennor's body in order for Pelennor to die, and he still didn't die because his head survived, and he had a long like hour-long talk.
Who is this
with another
fucking
character.
Shinnok?
He is literally the Mega Chad of Elder Scrolls.
was written by.
He was not defeated. He chose to lose.
Chose to lose.
He's the Chuck Norris of Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, my time has ended.
He legitimately chose to lose.
After this, we should show you that video
Please.
Yeah.
of Pelennor going through the animation.
Video?
It's that animation
Pelennor.
where he's just fucking up all the eyelids, and it's great.
There's a lot of other shit too. He had fallen in love with someone. That person died, and that's when he went on this roaring path of revenge and shouted the name of a
It's just
future
so
king.
cool. That's my favorite part of Elder Scrolls lore. Is just Pelennor's whole thing.
He was written by a guy who, for a very long time, people thought that this guy wrote a piece of lore called the 40 Lessons of Vivek. People thought that he wrote that on LSD, but that's not true. That's a complete fabrication.
Really?
As far as you know.
I think the picture of him where he's on the ground and he's like all destitute,
Is like the actual writer?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a picture of him like in his like underwear on his floor, and he's just like, ugh, and people thinking that's fake, but I think he did write this shit in LSD.
Oh.
So it's a little bit.
It's
Elder
up
Scrolls
for-
lore
it's up for debate.
yeah. Elder Scrolls lore is fucking. I was a little late for that, but
They're saying in the name of God.
Elder Scrolls lore is fucking insane.
That's the song that plays anytime Pelennor is mentioned.
It's like pure schizo energy.
Would you count Attack on Titan's entire like hardcore past gaslight moment time travel?
I would say it's more like a memory, like you're connected via memories.
I would have to disagree only for the fact that he was able to influence it.
Yeah, I truthfully I only know about this via osmosis through like other people. I don't know too much.
So here's the deal, right? So
And I only know things based on what I'm assuming.
right. So I'm just gonna explain just the one Titan situation, right? So there's the entire thing with Marley in the LD Marley, like all of them, right? They have the ability of some of the founding Titans, the shifting Titans. One of them gets away and pretty much becomes the attack Titan, which is Grisha Jaeger. He goes to Eldia and ends up becoming like a doctor there.
Yeah.
And he finds people of the founding Titan of Ymir, and he was about to kill him, and then he says like, no, I'm not going to do it, and then murders him anyway. You find out in the 4th season when Aaron's trying to trick his half brother into like pretty much letting him have control so he can create the founding Titan to destroy Marley. Mm-hmm. He ends up like taking him back through memory lane, and he sees his dad in that moment where he found the basement and was gonna attack the founding Titan like remnants. Mm-hmm. And then Aaron gets in his fucking dad's face, and he has so much power over them with the attack Titan because it has the ability to see the future of its users. Mm-hmm. That Aaron can manipulate his dad and says, "This is your fault. Do what you came here to do because you started all of this," and drove his dad by gaslighting him to kill the founding Titans to eat them so that he would have the power later. It's a time loop.
Fuck, dude. I still feel like that like there is some sort of like time travel aspect, but it's more of like a passing down your memories and kind of reliving.
If you go to the point where you see the tree of all the Titans, if you're a child of Ymir,
yeah.
It stops time. It has the ability to see moments in time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really fucking crazy.
I have a Wikipedia, like the thing I said.
Okay.
I have of every game that has some sort of time travel in it. It's
Does Cyber Sleuth show up?
Ape Escape is on here. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm going through some of the more notable entries. Ape Escape, BioShock Infinite.
Yeah. It's time travel alternate universe. That one's a weird one.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any notes about what. Some of these have notes of what happens.
Yeah.
It's like
BioShock
alternate
doesn't have
universe.
any notes on
That
it.
one's
Well,
alternate universe.
the time travel is more like the DLC.
No, Burial at Sea?
Yeah, I feel like that expanded
That's an
on
alternate
it more.
universe.
It is.
I swear to God,
No,
It's an alternate version of the first BioShock.
Yeah, it's an alternate universe of Rapture.
I thought it was explaining the origin of Rapture.
No, because Rapture and Columbia don't exist in the same universe.
Yeah, it's a weird.
I didn't know that.
I actually just read this a while
But
ago.
Constance is in both, at different time periods.
Constance?
Mm-hmm. The villain from Bioshock 2 was like born in Colombia, and they said she went to Bioshock. Or not, fuck the Bioshock. To
The
Rapture.
name is
Rapture?
Constance.
Yeah.
Constant.
Oh, was I saying constant?
No, but she
This is probably the point.
she might be like the twins.
Oh,
It might be a constant
She might be a
person, no
singularity
matter what.
okay.
Yeah.
Because like the twins that you
The name
meet
is
in
Constant.
Infinite,
They're like the same. I know.
they're the same. Yeah, they're not twins. They're from two different universes that can exist through multiple universes together.
You know, Den-O has time travel. I completely
It's the
forgot
whole
about that.
point of the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fool.
And it's really weird.
I was most on video games. We can talk about it. You guys talk about anime, so who cares?
It's really weird
That's
because
it.
Yeah, who cares about anime? Let's
Yeah.
leave.
This
Let's
is gonna be
come on, Ryan. Let's go.
this episode's gonna be called Time Travel with Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan's time travel jacuzzi. I don't know if I can
Yeah. Hot tub time machine. There
yeah.
we go.
The main character in Den-O is a singularity point, which allows him using like if something happens in the past that can change the past. The singularity point's memories can reshape reshape the time to what it was originally. So like if someone died in the past and they forgot to save it, they could just like kill the bad guy and then they go back in time and it's like fixed and stuff.
Right.
The plot I watched it twice and I watched it twice and the ending still doesn't make that much sense to me.
I don't. I've listened to one of the dudes on YouTube talk about it because he does like the recaps.
Yeah.
I listened to the story of Den-O twice and I still don't know what the fuck happened.
It's fucking
The
weird.
training.
I understood Kiva better.
It's fucking weird.
Ooh.
Well, Kiva's not even that hard to understand.
Kiva's hard to understand at the very end.
There's like a weird time travel door in Kiva.
I was gonna say, Nancy, give me your throat and the super spin cycle to send me back to the Paleozoic era.
I was thinking the TARDIS noise just plays that.
I was gonna say Bubsy 2 apparently.
Yeah, it is.
Huh.
It is time travel.
Call of Cthulhu, Black Ops,
I don't see how Black
Chibi
Ops
Robo,
Chibi Robo?
is
all the
number
Chrono,
one.
Not the first
Chrono
one.
Cross, Chrono Trigger,
Well,
all
the
those
second one.
games.
I haven't played the second one, so I don't know.
Clock Tower 3,
Scissorman?
Command and Conquer,
Command and Conquer.
Crash Bandicoot Warped, Daikatana has time travel.
Yeah, Daikatana's weird.
Dark Chronicle,
That sounds familiar.
Darkest of Days,
Dog.
Darkest of Days.
Dishonored 2 has time travel.
I think it has time.
Where's Derek? He's our
It
Dishonored
says
expert.
the player can freely switch between past and present in a
Oh
particular
yeah,
level.
Emily has that power.
Ah.
She gets
Is that like at the end of the game?
no, she has that ability in one section.
Is that like her power?
It's one of her many
Okay.
powers that's given to her by the Watcher.
Dragon Age Inquisition. Dragon Age. Sorry.
I don't remember what.
I'll read it. I can read the note on
Time
here.
travel.
Yeah.
A quest in the main timeline transports the main character to an apocalyptic future.
Yes.
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 Yes, it
Right.
does.
The circumstances of the apocalypse are a direct result of the main character's abrupt disappearance earlier in time. Completing the quest, returning to the past allows the character to prevent the apocalyptic
Mhm.
future.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was
It's
super
in the beginning.
sad.
It's in the beginning.
No, it's towards the end.
It's just
No,
a
it's in
quest
the beginning.
main timeline.
Oh,
Because
Okami.
it's before they've even
It
like
did
revealed
say
who
that.
Yeah,
Crick
Okami,
is.
I remember
We'll get
Okami.
Really?
into that
Yeah,
more.
you're not even in Skyhold yet.
Oh, maybe you're right. I
It's-
remember being super sad because Liliana was ugly now because she was old.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Skyrim. Go with learning of the Dragon Wrench shout.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
That's technically time travel.
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot in 2020.
Whatever. We don't count that.
That's a shit ass game.
Dragon Quest.
do you not in am I wrong thinking in one of the DLCs for Skyrim you go back in time again or am I tripping?
It's for Skyrim.
Yeah.
There's Dawnguard.
Yeah, maybe Don.
No.
You
You read an Elder Scroll and Dawn
you
Guard,
talk
right?
to the Falmer before they returned, but that's the
That's one of the that's the last.
it's more the guy who like stayed okay.
That's
the
one
whole
of two
time.
last surviving like non-feral
But
Falmer.
that's not a time travel thing. He just
Yeah.
like stayed cool the whole
And then
time.
in Dragonborn you go to Apocrypha, but
That's not time.
travel.
That's like a different
Plane of existence.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Earthbound. Echo
Earthbound,
the
yeah.
Dolphin.
Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah, I
gets
saw
fucking-
that.
Echo the Dolphin gets fucking whack, yo.
It gets-
What does that mean?
It
I
says
never got past
There's
the
like
first
some weird
level.
The final boss is the fucking Xenomorph Queen, dude.
Yeah,
that is true.
she is.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, on
it's
God,
the-
you
no,
kill the Xenomorph Queen by going. "Eee."
It's the Xenomorph Queen, but they don't say it's Xenomorph. It's not the same thing. It's like its own different thing.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
But
really
because,
distinct alien?
but because Sega owns the rights to Alien games, they can freely use the
I'm gonna have to
Alien
watch this.
icon.
Dude. I never got past the first level on Echo
It
the
says the
Dolphin.
player must travel to different times and timelines. Timelines as 2 words in order to restore history.
Truly,
How the
dolphins are the
fuck-
coolest mammals.
What's going on with this dolphin? Who
Is
what?
Terranigma technically time travel?
No.
I'm never finishing it, dude.
It's fine.
Come on.
No. Because the game takes place in a linear time where it's before humans and it goes into modern age.
Yeah.
Really?
So Terra Nigma starts off not being...
Because you revived the continents, the
you revive the
plants,
continents,
the animals, and the humans.
Right.
You go through the 7 days.
And
of,
then you just keep going forward and forward.
So
and
are you
forward.
God?
You're God's little helper.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Um,
Look at that.
Daggerfall, apparently. The end of
Yeah,
the
the fucking dragon
The
break.
end of the
Dragon
game results in the agent giving the totem of Kyber Septum to one of the 8 factions. Somehow all 8 factions received the totem at the same time.
Because,
Controlling the Numidium, a giant brass golem, which the totem achieved whatever goals they had. This event is called the Warp in the West and is thought to have happened due to a break in time, which results in multiple timelines converging into one.
that's what the dragon break is. That happens
Dragon break?
because dragons in Elder Scrolls lore are still dragons, but they're like immensely fucking powerful.
They're like
So
babies.
Akatosh is the father of all dragons while simultaneously being the god of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic in the Elder Scrolls is like the weave of like as the weave of like everything, and it's what allows everything to exist. And dragons being able to freely manipulate that voice of everything with the shout. They shout these effects into reality.
Oh fuck.
They're basically
Dragons are
they're doing what bards do in in D&D, but way cooler. They're literally
How
saying
does
the words
that
of
work
creation.
with a dragonborn? How does is it just a any being with the soul of a dragon that has the ability to?
It's
It
manipulate?
goes back to the Empire, right?
It's
Yeah.
I feel like there's multiple accounts of what a dragonborn is.
Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
really
Because there's Saint Alessia, the first
was
dragonborn,
technically a dragonborn.
who was blessed by Kinnereth. But what does Kinnereth have to do with dragons? Fucking nothing. And you got Mirak, the first dragonborn.
the first dragonborn.
How did he become the first dragonborn?
He could be lying.
Don't know.
He could be
He's
lying.
probably lying. He's probably just another Nord who could use the Thum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Because
he
you can-
absorbs dragon souls.
but he absorbs dragon.
So he is a dragonborn.
and
Is he
you
the
can
first?
you
We
can
don't
even
know.
learn how to use this voice without using like dragon souls to fuel your ability to use the Thum, because you can train really fucking hard to do it.
That's why like Ulfric Stormcloak can shout.
That's why he's so
Right,
fucking powerful.
So is it just like the difference between wizards and sorcerers? Where like if you absorb the dragon soul, you're more likely to easier come by more things versus wizards who have to study and basically like learn how to do
Dragon
Other-
shouts are completely
hard.
different to.
Yeah, dragon
spellcasting.
shouts are completely different because it's like it's manipulating the essence of the world itself.
So the Doom is not dragon shouts?
Thum
No, it
dragon
is.
shouts.
It's-
The Thum is just a dragon
They're
word for
separate
dragon
from
shouts.
spellcasting in the way wizards
Yeah.
would do it.
No, your analogy is correct.
Okay.
Where it's the dragonborn kind of has like a more innate sense of
Of the
how-
ability
of
to
the
manipulate
magic
the
of
Doom.
the Thum.
Versus
Whereas
certain people.
whereas anyone can learn it,
Anyone can learn.
but they have to learn
Learn
it.
how-
And so the Greybeards know it.
Right.
And that's why they're,
But they're
old
really
as shit,
old.
because it's taken them that long to
Yeah.
learn how to master the voice.
And
the
they're
one
why
really
they're so-
far technique off the mountain.
And
Yeah.
when you do it to them, they're like, "Whoa, you did it in just like a second."
yeah,
Yeah.
bro, I still got my
They-
baby hairs on my nuts. I can do
Yeah.
the film.
They're surprised that you like master it so quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, you shout the
You master
existence
debate
of
all over them.
like when you fire breath, you're shouting the existence of this fire out into the world. You are bringing this fire instead of
Which is
like,
kind of how magic works. You're conjuring the idea
Yeah.
of
You're
something.
manipulating the weave in a certain way.
yeah.
It's just
It's crazy.
the Dragonborn is just a more potent.
Elder Scrolls lore is fucking insane.
Moving on, if you unless you are you done? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I'm just now super interested in Elder Scrolls lore, but I'm not gonna go out and listen.
A
to
lot
it.
of the game.
Cycling back to the Dragon Break real quick, do you think Chris Chan's soul could power the Numidium?
We've already know.
Chris Chan's lesbian soul.
Hold on.
Do you think his lesbian soul matches the strength of Wolfhearth?
No.
At
The
this,
strength of Ismir?
at the point Christian is now in jail, no,
No.
his soul is too far gone. Her soul.
Old Christian?
What's the Numidium, first of all?
The Numidium?
The brass
Okay.
god.
The Numidium-
brass tower.
so-
one of the
so-
pillars of the earth.
So in Elder Scrolls lore, there are these things called the pillars. These pillars are what hold up the world.
One of
There
them
are-
is the mountain. In
Is the
Skyrim.
mountain, the big mountain Skyrim?
Anything big is a
holds
tower.
up the world or holds up the sky?
The world.
The
universe.
It holds
It
up
basically
Mundus. It holds
keeps
up
everything
reality.
together.
Okay.
They're reality
yeah.
anchors.
They're
Yeah,
reality
okay.
anchors. One of them wasn't even supposed to be an actual tower. It was built into
manufactured.
existence because the dwarves they wanted to worship something of their own design.
They
They
shunned
didn't
gods.
believe in the gods, so they built this thing out of the heart of the god that created this world.
Heart of Lorcan.
Lorcan was a god who said he wanted to create humans and bring life. All the other gods said no, so they took his heart, threw it down into this world, and that's what created the earth around Tamriel.
And created
Around
the
this fucking-
volcano that is
That is housing
What's it
that
called?
housed the.
So
Tamriel
it was.
existed before the Earth did.
Okay, so let me dial back.
It's
this
like
point.
the-
maybe
so-
Caleb
hold
can
on,
do better.
hold on.
Caleb can.
What else were you trying to get into?
Oh, the heart that it was.
No. Before that, like after we're done with this topic, is there something else that you wanted? You mentioned something about getting into the.
Some of Horus.
No, we're not touching that.
Including the remake that just came out of the first game.
That one's better. Yeah,
We'll talk about
yeah,
that.
we'll talk about that. But I got a feeling that we might just be on Elder Scrolls, and I'm too
That's
fucking
fine.
interested in this
That's
lore.
fine.
I fucked up a little bit. Yeah.
So
Tamriel's confident.
So yeah, it was like Lorcan wanted to make a place of his own because he was sick of having to share space with the gods.
Mhm.
In lore, Lorcan is an asshole. He's a trickster god.
Always.
But he's also like the main god. So it's like
Not anymore.
Oh, not anymore.
So he got half the gods to agree with him
To be fair,
to create Mundus and then the planet Nirn. Mundus is the material plane. Nirn is
Planet.
Earth.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. No, I'm thinking of Loki. I'm pretty sure Odin's like slightly a trickster guard too. He kept like.
They're all assholes.
Yeah,
let's
they're
be
all
honest.
assholes.
Yeah,
whatever
they-
you call it,
yeah.
I
So-
know that he was also known as a trickster god.
Yeah, so what Lorcan didn't tell the gods that agreed to like help him was that he was going to have to take portions of their power to create the world, and the portions of the power that he took removed their immortality.
Oh.
So the gods are vulnerable. Those gods became the Aedra, the gods who refused to like follow Lorcan and maintain their immortality became the Daedra.
Which
so
is
the
why
Daedra are way more powerful than the gods.
Which is why we never see any of the Aedra in any of the games except maybe 4.
Because they'll never show their faces
They're so
because
weak.
they can die.
Yeah. The
Whereas the
are
Daedra,
way
they show
stronger.
up all the fucking time.
So the difference between the Aedra and the Daedra are just the mortality.
Ones who sided with Lorcan.
The Aedra are technically good and the Daedra are technically bad.
Okay.
It's very
And that's why the Daedra reside in Oblivion.
right.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, Oblivion's basically just space.
Yeah. Oblivion.
Why do you
So-
like hell?
Okay,
No,
okay.
no,
Let me explain. Let me explain.
Let me lock my phone.
From the
Yeah,
outside.
yeah,
From the
we're
outside.
gonna get
So
stuck
say
here.
you look at the Skyrim version of the Great Wheel cosmology, right?
Yeah.
You've got
You know the fucking Planescape shit with the giant wheel?
Hold on. Keep that thought in your head. I'm just gonna get past this Final Fantasy shit because I just want to explain it to him real quick. So the way that works is that you start off Final Fantasy 1 waking up in the middle of the field. You walk up to the nearest castle, which is in this
Sounds like
area.
Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah, you wake up and you go to this castle called Cornelia. The dude says, "Yo, go find my daughter. You and your 3 friends go find my daughter. She was kidnapped by my knight Garland. We're not talking about Stranger's Paradise. Fuck that shit. It's stupid.
If it ever goes on sale, I'm playing it.
That's fine.
Limp
I probably will
Bizkit.
too, but I'll never actively
I thought
buy
you
it for
played
full.
it.
No, I played the demo, and that was
Okay.
enough for me. Then you go through all this bullshit. The time travel happens is when you, I think either when you go
It's when you fight Garland the first time, right?
No. No, after you kill Garland that time, he goes back. He goes back in time,
Yeah.
and he creates 4 fiends that you have to fight. So on
The
top,
Japanese trope, the 4
Yeah,
heavy.
the four Davis.
and so when that happens, you like go around doing all this mission or whatever, and then you go talk to Bahamut. He upgrades your crew. Then at some point,
Thanks, bro.
At some point, you have to figure out how to go back in time to fight the 4 fiends
Again?
again, and then you go fight Garland, who has amassed the power of the universe to become chaos.
What does that mean?
Chaos is like there's like 2 primordial gods in Final Fantasy. There's Chaos and then the Light one, which changes names a bunch.
Yeah,
Oh.
and so
And Chaos has stayed consistent.
But the
throughout
problem
all
is that every time it happens, it re-enters itself on a time loop.
So Final Fantasy 1 just keeps
It
playing.
keeps
Yeah.
going.
And the whole like fight the four demons, fight them again is just a way for because this is a very old NES game. They didn't know how to like patch
Sure,
it in.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and so it's like it's just the time loop keeps happening, and it never changes. That's all that one is. Continue.
Elder
Explain.
Scrolls-
Scrolls,
truth,
there's videos on this a lot.
That's
So-
fine. I won't listen to them if I'm playing something else.
So I'm trying to think of a way to describe like the Great Wheel cosmology and how it works.
It literally is like
So like
you know the Planescape cosmology and shit where it's like here's the plane of this, here's the plane of this, here's the plane of this.
D&D?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks different every time I look at it.
It looks like a wheel generally.
Yeah.
That's kind of similar to
The,
Elder
the
Scrolls.
best way my brain can picture it is like the DC universe, and it's multi-fucking
So-
bullshit.
here's the way they explain it. So, you've got Mundus, which is the material plane, right? And then you've got...
Mundus.
And then you've got, like,
DMC reference.
I guess the outside, like the dark on the outside of the plane.
Okay.
That is Oblivion. Oblivion,
Space.
like when it's nighttime and you look up into the sky and
That's
you see
Oblivion.
darkness, that is the
Oblivion.
outer edges of Oblivion.
That is space.
When you see the sun, when you see the stars, those are fractions of another plane called Aetherius poking through Oblivion.
Because the beings, I think, that originally inhabited this plane, they like escaped and they poked those holes through. I think.
Yeah. So the old elven spirits called the Elmafe basically like Superman punched their way out of
Did
Aetherius.
Superboy prime the outer wall?
They Superboy primed the outer wall, but so many of them did that's like
They
stars.
punched the fucking thing.
Yeah.
through.
And it's like it doesn't.
They're windows.
A good visual representation of it is say you've got a piece of paper with a bunch of holes poked into it.
Yeah.
This is Elder Scrolls, but then Aetherius is a white sheet of paper that you put underneath. It's not the same. you cannot go here.
Wait.
It's where they draw magic from.
No.
That's the only reason why magic exists.
Because
is
it
they
comes
draw it
through
from
the holes in the
They
wheel?
come through the holes,
Oh, wow.
but
You can't go there.
you can't go there.
Yeah.
The gods will literally.
Aetherius is heaven, Oblivion is hell. Kinda.
Not even. Because I feel like that does Oblivion a disservice.
Yeah,
They're not-
it really does.
So then how come Oblivion looks like how it does when you pass through one of the Oblivion gates?
Because it's up to the interpretation of the prince.
Yeah.
Oh, so the
Because there are different, like, yeah,
It's
there
a
are different...
malleable, like, area.
That was Molech... I think that was Molech Ball's version of Oblivion, if I'm correct.
Which one?
In Oblivion.
Oh, in Oblivion?
The game?
It's Mehrunes Dagon.
Mayrun's Dagon, that's what it was, yeah.
There's like 3 Daedra.
And Mayrun's Dagon is is the devil.
It's not even.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone...
He looks like
He
the
look
devil.
yeah, he looks like the
Yeah,
devil,
it's
but
like
his domain is change.
Okay.
So that's why things are constantly in fucking agony and motion and shit, because it's like, things are
You can't get
changing.
used to
It
it.
looks like this fucking Cenobite from
Adapt.
Hellraiser. There's like layer
Yeah.
hanging
A little
out.
bit, yeah.
Now, like, Molag Bal, yeah, he's actually evil.
He's also the rape king.
Yeah.
He rapes people and turns them into vampires.
He's-
I'm not
yeah,
fucking
that's
joking.
That's not... That's,
I'm not...
That's,
That's how
100
vampires are created?
that's
Yeah.
how girl vampires are created.
That's how female vampires are created, yeah.
What,
not
Actually, you know what? That's probably how all
in
vampires...
Dawnguard, does it
Honestly,
say that? In Dawnguard,
well,
there-
yes,
what-
yes.
What's
It
the
does-
phrase? What's the phrase? They are the
The daughters of Cold Harbor
in Cold Harbor.
It's
is
the plane
the
of
plane of
Molag
Molag Bal.
Yeah.
Well, Harkon was turned into a vampire by Valerica.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she turned him.
She was
Oh.
a vampire
Because she was
first,
originally
yeah.
a vampire.
She was
I think she had
Disseminated by Molag
Serana
Bal.
originally, and then she turned into a I don't know. Weird stuff. No, I think Harkon was...
Because no, Serana had to, like... She was born human, and
Yeah,
then
I
she
think
became a vampire.
Harkon was like a servant of Molag Bal originally, and I think he was
Yeah, he was like a cultist.
some
I'm
weird
pretty
shit.
sure their mother was a vampire first. Before the father.
Something, either way.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Or werewolves created.
Just the moon.
Werewolves are
I actually don't know.
the
What's
product of Hercene.
Her scene. Yeah.
Her scene, yeah.
And
The
he's
god of the hunt.
he's the god of the hunt, which
Daedra.
again isn't explicitly bad.
Yeah.
And he's a Daedra.
Yeah, he's a Daedra, and it's like you can
Oh.
follow him and like be a cool hunter, and it's like, hey, if you want to come here for your afterlife, you can.
Okay,
the
so-
afterlife is just an endless hunt.
And
I'm trying to like.
All the Daedra are just ones who didn't side with Lorcan.
So they're
Yeah.
not necessarily bad, but they have
Not
a bad
all of them.
moniker attached to them because
Yeah.
they're dated.
Like Meridia. She's not evil.
Yeah, Meridia is
Yeah,
like
Meridia is
objectively good.
explicitly-
She's like neutral good. If anything.
Meridia explicitly doesn't do evil things.
But does she look evil?
No.
No, she's just a woman.
She looks like an angel with like robes.
Yeah.
And she's like
shit.
this.
It's just a.
And
It's
she
just.
gives you a holy weapon in her quest.
It's just
Yeah.
like 3 out of all the Daedra do horrible shit, so they're all like
It's like
associated with.
it's also
them.
like
Kafka's Vile is pretty evil.
This is like
Yeah.
Kafka's Vile.
He's the Daedra prince, and this word doesn't. I don't think it fits him, but
It's like
he's
commerce, right?
power,
Yeah, power.
but more like offering power. He's like more of the prince of deals.
Yeah.
It's a crossroads demon.
Yeah,
His,
so it's
uh,
just like I'll give you whatever
I'll give
item
this
if you.
dick.
Because his
Yeah,
helmet,
if you
his helmet
destroy
gives you like a 20% extra on like bartering and
What's
shit.
the one that like disease and pestilence and stuff?
Perrite.
Perrite, yeah.
Is it Perrite?
And his whole thing is just like
Yeah,
the way he
he's the
explains
one-
it is just like disease and pestilence are a way to help the world survive by stamping down overpopulation.
It's
That's,
not wrong.
Because disease only
He's Thanos.
inhibits the weak.
He's Thanos.
That's one of the 4 chaos gods, and that's what one of the 4 chaos gods in 40K believes anyway.
Because he's one of the 4 horsemen is
Yeah.
Pestilence.
Yeah.
And then what are some of the other ones? There's Azura.
Azura's
She's
fine.
just the knight.
She's the protector of the sun and stars.
Yeah.
So she's like the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And she has a big thing with Dark Elves.
Okay. So let me ask this: how was just because I played a little bit of Oblivion before it gave me ridiculous motion sickness, and I never got.
You can turn motion blur off.
I did not know that at the time. I was playing on Xbox 360.
Well, also it looks weird as shit too.
Yeah.
It looked weird as shit.
Everyone looks like a grave.
It looks nothing like Morrowind, and
like
it looks
the
nothing
black
like
people
Skyrim.
would look like Indians. It was
Everything
really
looks like a
weird.
raisin.
Yeah. And then I played a little bit of Skyrim, like 4 different occasions, but I never got to Alduin.
If you turn your brain off, Skyrim's the best
I
game
can't
in the
do
fucking
that.
world.
I can't do that. Like I need a linear path to keep
I
me
get
interested.
it. I totally get it.
And having me have like
So,
just say, hey, go into the world and get fucked. I can't do that.
are there the same amount of Aedra as Daedra? Because there's what? There's only
There's
8.
9 divines.
There's
Yeah,
8 or
9
9,
divines,
depending on who
depending
you
on-
are. And then how many?
9.
There's 9.
There's
There's
9.
9.
Yes,
9.
I agree.
In
There's
this
9.
house. In this house. There
we
is 9
worship
divines.
Talos.
The whole
We
point-
worship Talos.
So you know in Skyrim there's a civil war between the
I'm gonna play the
Stormcloaks
Crusader
and the
medal.
Imperials.
Yeah.
The whole point of the war is almost solely because
Do you worship Jesus?
Hold on. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go to
dude.
the bathroom and you guys can explain the story to me.
it's basically Sunni versus Shia like Islam
Oh fuck.
in a way.
Yeah.
It's like the other guy or this guy. It's like which one's
I mean,
the god?
I mean, the elves are pretty clearly a reference to the high elves are pretty clearly.
Chance.
A reference to the white man. Yeah, I know.
I
I mean, well,
a certain
subgroup.
a certain
A certain-
tribe of
that's the. What do you mean? That's the Bretons. No, that's the Imperials.
no, the Imperials are no.
That's the Imperials because of their passive that allows them
They're
to
the
collect
Greeks.
more money.
Oh yeah.
No, they're just really good like trading Phoenicians. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
they're Italians.
They're trying to what do they do? They're trying to subvert people. They were kicked out.
I'm gonna say it's the Bretons only because Bellathor exists.
I will say the Empire. and the
I'd
Storm-
sell my own sister if I had one.
The Empire is written in a really good way where a lot of times you don't support them and a lot of times you do. So it's really good because to this day, there's no real good answer
No.
to what, and
Yeah.
that's good.
For me, it's always the Stormcloaks have a point. Ulfric does not. And it's like the Empire has a point, but Titus Meade is a weak ruler.
But we should still talk about the bigger picture rather than getting into Skyrim Civil War.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that this is basically the Templars are trying to tell the Nords to follow their religion.
The entire
No, they're telling them to not follow
Yeah.
one god
because
that they still worship.
because the high elves are working with the Imperials begrudgingly because of the Wycliffe Concordat.
You
so
don't
that
know
they
what that
decide-
means.
Yeah. Fuck, what exactly?
Do you want me to go in again? Okay.
Yeah.
We were just actually.
I feel like we should get into Civil War later.
So
Well, it's a part of it.
So this is part of it. So
Okay.
what the deal is, why this god Talos, they don't want the Nords worshiping him, is because he embodies the concept of mantling, which is the ascension from mortal to
God,
deity.
So deification.
Right.
He represents
The-
the human spirit.
The elves' issue with that is that they were the descendants of those Elnathe, those spirits who bust through the
OG gods.
the magic wall.
Right.
With Lorcan. However, Lorcan took their immortality to make Mundus, and the humans are his children.
Okay.
And that's where like the man versus mer beef comes from. It's like, oh, the
Man versus
like,
elf, and Mur is elf.
Yeah, it's like the men exist because Lorcan stole our immortality. So like not all the high elves, but like the Thalmor, which is like
The extremists.
the extremist political party that's in charge of the Dominion.
The Nazis of the high elves.
Oh, of course.
Their whole goal is to just become the Elnathe again, to get their immortality back.
Do they even know how?
No.
No.
But they just blame the humans.
They're also
They're
also
also to
racial
kill
extremists.
everyone else.
They're the type of people who always like have problems but no solutions.
Yeah.
They have outlawed. The whole reason that the Civil War exists is because they outlawed the worship of Talos. Because the less people that worship Talos, the weaker he becomes, and they don't want they heavily despise the fact that a lowly human,
was
ascended
able
to
to
God.
ascended.
And
Yeah,
the
But the
only-
elves can't.
The elves can't.
Oh.
and the whole reason
okay.
Talos is worshipped.
In this house?
No, Talos did a lot of shit that the elves don't like.
Talos also killed a shit ton of elves.
Talos
he was
conquered the
immortal.
world
He united the world with the Numidium. With the OG Numidium.
with the brass god.
The brass golem.
And he did that by... So let's just say this. His best friend was a demigod, or like one of the Aedra brought to mortal form. And he was like, oh yeah, your soul could power the Numidium. Grab, throw. That's why I say, well, do you think Chris Chan's lesbian soul could power the Numidium? I mean,
there's the explanation of the joke.
If Wolfhearth, the ghost of the North, could power the Numidium, I don't see why Chris Chan's
Like I
lesbian.
said, has a title. What do you mean?
Like I said, current Chris Chan, no.
Yeah,
Old
Chris
Chris
Chan's a
Chan,
creative
when he
side
was
to
still
this
full
title.
of naive,
That's a terrible
when he was
title.
still full of naive hope and love for this world, absolutely.
So here's okay. God damn it. Talos was not known as Talos when he was mortal. He was the leader of the Empire at the time, right?
Before his death, yeah, he was Tiber Septim.
Tiber Septim.
Oh,
When
why
he
does that name
mentally
sound
took on the
familiar?
name of Talos.
It's a name you hear a lot in Skyrim.
Yeah, the currency is called Septums because the Septim dynasty has ruled the
The
mortal
Empire
world.
for a while.
Up
Don't-
until the end of the fourth game.
Wasn't one of the name of the rulers of Oblivion?
Martin Septim.
Martin
Septim.
His last descendant.
He takes on
Of
he
Talos.
he becomes an aspect of Akatosh at the end of the game. The creator, technically the creator god.
So he becomes like an avatar of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he dies in the process,
Because-
and that ends the Septim dynasty.
Because he's also technically a Dragonborn because all of the Septums were I guess Dragonborns, I think.
And Akatosh is the...
God of Dragons.
God of Dragons
The father of
and
dragons and the
time.
god of time.
So it makes sense he become an avatar of Akatosh.
Yeah.
At
Okay.
the end. But,
I fucking love the Numidium.
It's so fucking cool.
were we gonna
It's
explain...
just a big bronze
Do you want to
gold.
Do you want to explain more about the dwarves then and about the Numidium more?
There's really not much to explain about the dwarves. So the dwarves aren't actually dwarves; they're elves
Yeah, they're
that
just
live underground.
they were called dwarves by Skyrim's
giants.
giants
So wait,
Because
now
they
that I
look
think about
tiny?
it, you never really see dwarves in any of the.
because
And
every
so-
single one
And
of
the
them.
orcs are also elves.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're going to Orsimer.
Yeah,
The dwarves disappeared because they made the Numidium, and when they turned it on, they all fucking disappeared.
Nope,
No?
nope. They were
That's how it was.
they were it was during the Battle of Red Mountain
Yeah,
when the
yeah.
when the Alliance of the Needs came to fucking erase elves from the face of this earth. The Alliance.
With Palinol?
The needs being the ancient Imperials.
Thank you.
Was that with Palinol?
No,
No,
Oh.
Pelennor wasn't.
no.
dead.
I want to say this was after.
I was going
Pelennor.
to say yeah, that's after.
So what ends up happening is like the Need / Nord Alliance shows up, and there's an alliance of at the time what are called Chimer, and the dwarves. Now the Chimer end up becoming Dark Elves during this process, but they're tan-skinned elves right now. So what ends up happening is
So it's like the light skin, the dark skin pipeline.
There's no Dark Elves yet.
Yeah.
They're called Chimer.
anyways, the humans show up, and the elves are like, "We're about to fucking die. We need to do something." And the Chimer are just like gods. And the dwarves are just like, well, no, we need to do something. I mean, we have the heart of Lorcan right here, because what happened to Lorcan is when the gods discovered that he had stolen their immortality, they parademoned the shit out of him.
They beat the
They
shit out of
ripped
Lorcan.
his heart out, and Akatosh stuck his heart on the end of his bow and shot it into Mundus, and where it landed created the Red Mountain,
Which is where
which is a volcano that encompasses in the entirety of Morrowind's game world.
Which is one of the
Oh.
pillars.
Which is
Okay.
one,
Yeah, Red Mountain is
It's
one
one of
of
the towers that holds up the universe
Okay.
because it's the heart of the guy who created the universe.
Makes sense.
Among other ones.
Yeah. So
Which one's his penis?
The White Gold Tower.
he
Hammerfell.
don't need.
hey, Hammerfell, the country that looks like a penis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they get there, and I'm probably getting something wrong. Someone will yell at me in the comments.
if they're watching.
No one's gonna.
The whole two Asians that watched.
The whole 2 Asians and 6 bots who killed the other 4 Asians who were watching. So
You keep saying bots. Bots don't just show up. We have to buy bots. No, not one of us is bought bots.
Chance. Bots have commented on
Oh
our
no,
videos.
that's right. I'm dumb.
I've watched
I'm stupid.
Terminator.
I'm stupid.
Anyways.
yeah.
Needs
So
and elves.
yeah. So in an act of desperation,
They use the heart of
the
Lorcan.
dwarves decide to try to tap into the heart of Lorcan,
Okay.
and we don't know exactly what they wanted or what their goal was, and it was their king Kagranak who did it. But he taps into the heart of Lorcan, and instantaneously every dwarf
Single
disappears.
Dwarf just fucking poof.
That doesn't mean they're dead. They just
They're
don't
just
live
gone.
on
We don't
that
know what
plane.
happened.
They're
There
just
was
gone.
one.
I'm pretty sure Elder Scrolls 6 or 7. It's gonna be that has to be the plot point because it's such an open-ended storyline.
Here is
Because in Skyrim, you go into dwarven ruins and
Right.
there's no one here and stuff.
Right.
In Morrowind, you do meet one dwarf.
one dwarf, and that's me.
It's okay. You beat me to it.
Look.
Yagrum Bagarn.
Yagrum Bagarn. Well,
That's
throw him up on the screen, Barry.
That's gonna be you during the cyber techpocalypse.
Yeah. Chance is gonna turn
How
into
the fuck
Yagrum.
do you spell that?
Yagrum,
Y-A-G.
spelled phonetically.
Y-A-G-R-U-M.
Bagarn, spelled
Oh,
phonetically.
it's right there.
It's Chance.
That's me.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be me, but surrounded by 50 bitches of varying genders.
Hold
And
on, no.
I
wait,
don't-
Whoa!
Why are you the evil villain off of Wild Wild West?
Right.
This is Chance during the tech apocalypse.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't exactly remember why Yagrum Bagarn survived.
I think he just wasn't there. I think he was legit in another dimension.
That would make sense.
He was in
He was in Demiplane.
he was in Kim.
He was that guy
Chim.
from the meme where he fucks the flame Atronac.
Oh, Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, the theory is with
Here's-
the dwarves.
No, here's...
Can I finish the Battle of Red Mountain?
Oh yeah, go.
So the dwarves disappear and the Chimer freak the fuck out.
There's
wasn't this
other
at the
elf
moment
brethren
when
are
the Chimer
gone.
turned into Dark Elves as well?
Yes, it's a huge important
He's
moment
getting
in the
to
lore.
it. He'll get to it.
Yeah, so the
They
Dark
found
Elves.
short snippet videos.
Yeah, the Chimer are just like-
To listen to.
Yeah, the Chimer are just like, we just lost half our army. Fuck. So they also go into Red Mountain and are like, okay, well we got to do something with the Heart of Lorcan. And the tribunal that consists of Vivek, Silthasil, and Amalexia.
And the Nerevar.
Yeah, Lord Nerevar, and then I want to say Dagoth was there.
Dagoth, I think
yeah.
Dagoth was also one of
I
the...
honestly
over.
think that you guys should just have like a separate channel or a separate group of videos where you just explain lore.
We're not,
Other people-
we're not Fudge Muppet.
No,
Yeah, other
but-
people do it way better
There's-
than
but
we do.
here's the thing.
There's a Danish
I
guy
refuse.
that's
I
really
refuse to make money talking about Elder Scrolls
Dutch.
while fucking Xerix the Hackeron exists on this platform.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
He's a guy with an encyclopedic knowledge of Elder Scrolls.
No,
Is that the Dutch guy?
No, he's American.
What I'm saying is that when I listen to you specifically tell me lore, I get so interested in it.
Yeah.
Like, I was like this fucking close to going on a rabbit hole dive of Middle Earth lore.
Oh my god.
I was so fucking close.
So let's finish up this Red Mountain thing at least.
Okay, so I'm gonna spark nuts.
Tribunal.
Basically, so the tribunal and Dagoth agreed to use the heart to
Probably explain who that is to Xavier.
They were the leaders.
They're no one.
They're-
They're the leaders of the Chimer.
Yeah.
They were going to tap into the heart of Lorcan to ascend themselves to godhood
Okay.
to fight the humans.
Which kind of ends up happening.
Lord Nerevar is like, no, we can't do that. We, follow our own gods. They will not look upon us kindly if we try to ascend to their level. And in response to that, three of those people, being Vivek, Amalexia, and Silthasil, so not Dagoth,
Yeah.
parademon the shit out of him. They kill him.
Yeah, he's gone.
And then they tap into the heart of Lorcan, and those three end up becoming gods, known as the Tribunal. Vivek
right?
specifically becomes so fucking powerful that he can break the fourth wall.
He achieves something called Chim, which
We're-
allows him to realize he's in a video game and access the console.
Yeah.
He
gets console commands.
That is not the canon explanation. That is what people
That's the
technically
best
think
theory.
that is. That is the best way to describe that.
He has above board knowledge.
Yeah.
What's the name of that motherfucker?
Vivek.
He's
And if you look up the lessons of Vivek, those are the stories we were talking about. Where
How do you spell it?
Vivec, where that dude was on LSD writing
He
this
looks
guy's
like
lore.
Luna Trigger.
He's like double colored, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all about
Vivek Lightsome?
Huh?
No?
Is that his last name?
I don't know.
Is that Elder Scrolls Wiki shit?
Nope, that is a
That is Yowie.
that's Korean dance group, so you're close.
Close. Anyways, so Dagoth also sort of ascends to the same level of godhood,
He didn't die.
but he despises the tribunal for turning on Nerevar, who was his best friend.
And
then more of that spirals into
Is
Morrowind. But
Vivek in on Elder Scrolls Online?
yes,
yeah, he is.
yeah, no. So Elder Scrolls Online takes place
Like roughly 3
before the first game. It takes
Yeah.
place during like the second era, and you get to meet Vivek in Morrowind, which takes place in the end of the third era, like thousands of years later.
Yeah.
Also, you should explain what happened to the Dark Elves.
Oh yeah, so when that happens and they become like gods,
Didn't that also trigger the Dragon Break?
Nerevar, no. So Nerevar is betrayed. He dies, but he's correct because it's at that moment where their goddess Azura is like, "Oh yeah, we can't have that. I gotta like curse you or something," and she turns them black with red eyes rather than being like tan.
They were like the gold skin before, right?
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
Bronze goddess
So
and
because
goddess.
they killed somebody,
And descended to
well,
gods.
because they betrayed her.
because they betrayed her
Their
and
goddess
sent
is
her
Azura.
godhood, she said nah and turned them into Dark Elves.
Yeah,
They cursed them
to be like you were forever. You were no longer part of like Mer society. You were your own thing.
You are the lowest of the
You are
low.
spurned from
You are
the descendants of the Elnafe.
Oh.
Mhm.
So the Red Guard?
They're cool. They're really cool.
They're
Cool
just,
black people who have no relations to any of this drama.
Because they weren't even on the continent where humans came from.
They're in a different like continent called Yokuda.
they've got
which
blade
is
singing.
weird.
Huh?
They've got blade singing.
They've got blade singing.
They were
They have their own game, don't they?
they were my no. That is a linear story of one guy that they
Yeah.
just happened to call Redguard, and it takes place on a tiny island north of Hammerfell called Strossenkai.
Okay.
Redguards were my fascination of black Asians comes from.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They have this weird thing. It's called blade dancing or something.
Yeah, blade. I think it's literally Blade's song.
Blade, something
Not
like,
blade
something
singing.
like that.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
And they just decided to ignore the black people?
Well, they're
Well,
not there.
potentially the next Elder Scrolls game that might
Is gonna take place
in
in-
Hammerfell,
yeah, in
which is
Hammerfell.
where they live.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna mention.
They're also really based and they're anti-imperial.
They're super cool.
I can say, yeah, the cool thing about the Red Guards, right? So, like we mentioned, like the Civil War thing that was going on between like the High Elves and the races of men.
Yeah.
When a treaty was signed that ended the war, part of that treaty was that Hammerfell would be given over to the Aldmeri Dominion.
The elves.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
and the Empire was okay with that. The Red Guards were not, obviously,
Right.
and so they were like, okay, so you guys are cowards. We're gonna keep fighting. So now they have like half the resources, and they have none of the Imperial backing. And now, because the Empire is no longer fighting the Aldmeri Dominion, their full force gets pushed towards Hammerfell. The Red Guards still win.
Because Blade's song is an incredibly powerful
It is.
like art.
It
of war.
is a form of magic unknowable to the elves,
The original
and unknowable to anyone but the Red Guards.
So cool.
They are
original-
based.
The original continent where the Red Guard came from, Yokuda, was split in half by someone blade songing too hard.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it wasn't
sunk into
split.
the
Yeah,
water.
it wasn't split in half. It was sunk into the sea.
Sunk
Yeah.
They created their own Atlantis because he
Yeah.
did the Jake too hard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I guess there's two factions.
He
of
dug in too hard.
Yeah, there's two factions of
Really walking
Yakudans.
too hard.
There's two factions of Yakudans who are constantly at civil war.
The crown and the forebears, right?
Yeah, they sunk Yokuda. Both managed to survive, come to Hammerfell, and they still fight. And the Aldmeri invasion was the one time in recorded history where they were able to unite, and they took over, and they defeated the strongest faction in the history of Tamriel.
Yo.
They're based- you
And
don't
they didn't
fuck
choose
with
to
them.
invade the Aldmeri Dominion because they just wanted to be left alone.
Oh my god.
And there's like plot points I think in Skyrim that are even mentioned that like the fact that the Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion had a truce and the Hammerfell kept fighting was like a war crime or something.
Mhm.
It broke the
White Gold
White
Concordat.
Gold Concordat, but like I can't remember what it was, but it was like something had ramifications like where Hammerfell like now hates the Empire
Yeah, no,
because there's like a confusion thing.
no, because the Empire had to abandon them.
Yeah, so like, yeah, they hate
so
the
the
Empire.
blacks hate the whites.
They hate the Empire
Yes.
and the Aldera.
Rightfully so.
Because
Some
the
of the
Empire
whites.
abandoned them by signing the treaty ending the war.
Well, High Rock is still part of the Empire, so it's
They don't hate Nords.
It's
High
all
Rock is
whites.
part of the Empire still.
Yeah.
So wait, all of
it's just Hammerfell that got
Yeah.
given up.
And-
So the
okay.
Empire right now is for sure High Rock and Cyrodiil. Depending on how you play the game, it could be Skyrim. but Morrowind is its own kingdom solely because the Empire was too weak to hold it.
Which is where the Dark Elves live. Where that giant mountain is.
Black Marsh, where the Argonians came from.
They said fuck that because it's too inhospitable.
So Tiber Septim never conquered it, but he said he did, and his reasoning was, no one can prove me wrong. No one else is gonna go in there, and no one did. Because Black Marsh is protected by a race of sentient trees called the Hist that communicate through magic pollen with the Argonians.
They were the
Argonians
first...
and the Khajiit, the two beast races, are so fucking weird.
The Argonians, the Hist were, I think, the very first life form in this fucking like.
The Hist are the original children of Lorcan.
Yeah.
And they are still alive.
These
the
weird,
original ones.
like trees.
So if you hear about like Argonians drinking like sap and stuff, it's because of the Hist tree.
Yeah, like the sleeping tree sap
So where did the Argonians and the Khajiit come from?
The Khajiit technically are descended from elves.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
The Argonians, I'm honestly not too sure of.
We don't know enough.
I think they are transplants from Akavir.
I thought they were bred as like a slave race from.
Yeah, but how do you breed something?
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, well, they're the closest thing to like dragons, technically, besides Dragonborn, right?
Yeah.
Well, just because they're lizards, maybe. But I gotta go take a big shit. Sorry, boys.
So I'm gonna talk about two Argonian things now.
When I get back, I'm gonna
because
tell
they're funny. Well, they're not funny, but they're funny.
When I get back, I'm gonna tell my schizo theory about what I think happened with the dwarves.
Okay. I don't want to hear about the list the Argonian made.
That's fine.
That's not.
Okay.
So, first thing is during the Oblivion Crisis in Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion portals are appearing everywhere.
Right. I was asking about this. Like, how did those just start showing up? Which is one of the.
Mehrunes Dagon can just do that.
He was just being an asshole.
And in the Elder Scrolls Online, Moloch Baal can just do that.
Do they just want to take over Tamriel?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what Elder Scrolls Online's reasoning is.
Like the fact that
game
they
doesn't have a
open
good
the
story,
gate and just
so I
don't
don't
send
know.
mobs and mobs of people from that plane through is just like lazy.
Huh?
Saying like the fact that they have these gates everywhere.
Yeah.
But then don't send like mobs of dudes through it.
They do in the lore. They couldn't do it in the game because tech limitations.
Yeah.
But in the lore, it's like they were sending whole armies through.
I love the Argonians and the Red Guard are my favorite.
They're the
races.
two most based races.
They're the most base races.
So the portals happen. The events of Elder Scrolls 4 are happening, and during the Oblivion Crisis, that's when the Empire really starts to get weak because they have to sort of pull back from their outer colonies
And
to
the
protect
Empire is
Cyrodiil.
ruled by Septim, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they pull all their troops out of Black Marsh, or what troops they did have.
Yeah.
And Oblivion portals start showing up in Black Marsh. And some Daedra are fleeing Black Marsh, going back to Oblivion, saying, we cannot fucking handle these guys. And then the Argonians follow them into Oblivion and beat the shit out of everyone that they see. They murder everyone that they see.
Where's the scripture of this?
They're in books in Skyrim where it's just the
those
events of the
fight
Oblivion
something.
Crisis in areas other than where the main game takes
so
place.
does Skyrim happen years after?
It takes place
Oblivion?
200 years later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's a story became,
Legend.
became legend. So they're just oh fuck these guys.
Yeah.
And they basically on their own do what the hero of Kavach was doing in Elder Scrolls 4.
The main character.
And they rose themselves to a point where the Daedra do not fuck with them anymore.
The Argonians? Or
Yeah, they do not fuck with the Argonians anymore. We do not touch them anymore.
Does it
We leave
explain
them alone.
how they were able to do this?
No.
Yeah.
They just did
They
it.
were just so base that they just
Because they have primal. It's the whole gorillas versus humans debate. They don't have the limiters that regular sentient species do because they are a hive mind collective. So they just
Oh, the Argonians are?
Yeah.
yes, and the hive mind's controlled by the Hist.
Yeah.
Those trees through their magic pollen.
Oh, so the Argonians that you meet in the game are
They have free will, but it's when they need to, the Hist will be all right, here's what we're
time
doing.
to fuck shit up.
They're
Yeah.
they're kind of like the Myconians, I guess.
Okay.
In a way.
That's really weird.
Way stronger.
Part 2. So throughout the beginning history of the Elder Scrolls from 1 to 3, the Argonians are a slave race when they were outside of Black Marsh, and they are being enslaved by the Dark Elves in Morrowind, which is the country immediately to
And
their
that's
north.
after or before they became Dark Elves, as we know them.
before and during.
Okay.
So the Oblivion Crisis happens, right? And the Empire pulls out from its territories.
Wait. So you telling me halfway through one of the games, brown elves become black?
It's not through one of the games. It's before.
Okay.
It's
one of the
before
games.
3.
You never get to see a Chimer,
Okay.
Oh.
except in like half of Vivek is still a Chimer.
Yeah,
because he's like
dual
dual colored.
Because one side's gold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the Oblivion Crisis happens. The Argonians chatted up Oblivion. They come back and they notice, well, everyone's pretty weak right now. Except for us,
Wait, who said this?
the Argonians.
Okay.
They just
And they're
bring
like,
those demons back.
Right.
you know, we should probably go free the slaves in Morrowind. And they do. So, remember, these are the guys who have access to the heart of Lorcan. What ends up happening is they literally, so Morrowind's split into 2 different chunks.
Okay, so hold on. I think I'm a little bit lost.
Okay.
So, the guys that are going to free the Argonians are...
The Argonians.
Okay, there's like, we gotta go free our bros.
Yeah.
Up north in Morrowind with the Dark
We just
Elves
got
are
done beating the Daedra's ass.
Yes, and we are the territory that took the least amount of losses because of how Chad we are.
So now we have to go beat the Dark Elves' asses to free our brothers.
Yeah, so we might as well go do that.
Because we're just still hyped.
Yes.
Okay.
They're on that post demon annihilation high.
Yeah.
So a couple things happen while this is happening. So Morrowind is split into 2 parts. There's a section that's connected to the mainland, and that's not where the game Morrowind takes place. And then there's a huge island called Vardenfell, and the whole island is basically just Red Mountain,
Okay.
and then the immediate lands around it. After the events of Elder Scrolls 3,
Morrowind.
yeah, that Vivek guy kind of just fucks off and leaves because he doesn't want to deal with the Dark Elves anymore.
He's a god.
He's a god, so he can do whatever he wants.
I'm a god. Okay.
The problem is that he was currently living on an asteroid. Like, an asteroid was coming to Earth, and he went, stop. And then built a house and was living on top of it, right? So he leaves, and then the asteroid just resumes its course and smashes into Red Mountain, causes the Red Mountain eruption, and completely destroys Vardenfell.
The island.
The island. And that is, like, the most prosperous region of Morrowind. So that, gone. So now it's just the mainland left.
So the Dark Elves are at a real disadvantage
And
now.
so they're the real disadvantage. And it's, an enormous volcano erupting. So it had effects that were felt on the other side of the world.
So does all that happen in Morrowind?
That happens, like, the mountain thing is the event immediately following the end of Morrowind.
Okay.
And, like, all of its DLCs.
So who's like the final boss of Morrowind?
They got third.
One of the Daedra princes.
No, he's the guy who, like,
Didn't
was,
want the 3 other elves to ascend.
He didn't want, like, well, no, he wanted to ascend, but he didn't want them to betray Nerevar.
Okay.
And you play as a reincarnation of Nerevar.
Interesting. Okay.
It's its own set of war.
Yeah.
So anyways, that happens. Morrowind is fucking destabilized, and at this point, the strongest race of people come up from the south, and quite literally just glass them. It went from freeing the slaves, which they did in a matter of a couple weeks, to just being like, yeah, we got like a couple thousand years worth of pent up revenge. You might as well.
Fucking just destroy
And
all
they basically take Morrowind and take it from, like, they turn it into the third world, from being one of the most prosperous nations on the planet.
That's wild.
They basically kill their slave masters and then go farther.
And then they come back, and no one has fucked with them since.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Argonians and the Red Guards are based because they just want to be
so
left
sick.
alone.
Yeah, they were going to
Good timing, because unless you had more to that
Well,
story.
we could
No,
talk about
that-
Khajiit too, and we haven't even touched on the Wood Elves and the Bretons.
The Wood Elves are cannibals.
There's nothing to say about the Bretons. They're the most boring race.
Well,
Yeah.
they're half elf, half human.
Not even. They're like 0.001%
They,
elf.
I know, but they used to have like web fingers and cool looks, but now they don't look.
But
like
they
that.
don't.
They look
Now
like
they're
people now.
they just look like
Man.
Franciscan monks.
Yeah.
So, my schizo theory about what happened to the dwarves is, excuse me while I ingest this pecto, because I have a bad stomach. This is why Gabe Newell created Steam, because he's too fat to pick up discs. So, with Steam, you don't need discs. My schizo theory is that the dwarves, what they did on the Red Mountain was that they achieved godhood, and they ascended to a plane so high beyond anything that they can't be seen, and everything about them is gone now. In this universe, they created other people and given them the means to evolve in technology and stuff, which eventually led to the Fallout universe. Because in Fallout 4, there were a bunch of like statues and like giant heads on like buildings and stuff that look very, very vaguely similar to dwarven faces in Skyrim, around the different like dwarven cities you can go to. And it's a very loose connection, but it'd be really cool if it was, and it'd be really cool if that was true, and they never fucking like expanded upon it, and they just like kind of like said like, hey, this happens.
And the second piece of evidence to support that is that in Fallout on the Pridwin, you find an experimental version of Nirnroot.
Mm-hmm. Which is a thing that sprouts in Skyrim.
Which in Skyrim, the only other type of experimental, not naturally grown Nirnroot you find is in Blackreach. It's the Crimson Nirnroot.
Which is a dwarven city.
But in Blackreach is the dwarven city.
The biggest.
It is basically like, so you have Tamriel, and then you have under Tamriel, and that's one city called Blackreach.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Undercommon, not the Undercommon, it's the Underdark.
It's the Underdark.
It's Menzo Branson.
Mm-hmm.
If Menzo Branson stretched the entirety of the Underdark.
And Fallout lore in and of itself is another fucking beast, which is it's also schizophrenic. Not on the same level as Elder Scrolls, but it's also fucking insane.
Isn't like a weird Eldritch God too in Fallout 76?
There's a lot of weird shit. 76, there's a lot of weird shit because
I know nothing about 76.
Because West Virginia is all about like cryptids and shit.
That's true.
So there's a lot of weird like stuff.
It's not West Virginia. It's
the Appalachians.
It's West Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia.
It is Western Virginia, not West Virginia.
Not the West Virginia.
Which is why that John Denver song makes no sense, because that's not what it's about.
Yeah.
So it's Central Virginia.
Fuck you.
Anyways, yeah, Fallout.
The Blue Ridge Mountains are in Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my schizo theory about the dwarves.
And then
do you have a theory about the dwarves?
No.
Do you care?
I won't care till they come back. All I want is for the dwarves to be a playable race eventually.
Aren't the dwarves a big deal in Hammerfell too?
No.
I mean, their kingdom stretched, like I said, it's the entire continent.
Okay.
Yeah.
But underneath.
Do you want to talk about Khajiit as well? While we're on.
I don't know a lot about
I don't know a lot about the Khajiit either.
All I know is that they live in a giant litter box, and that's the joke.
Something about the moon. No, they live in a desert region.
That's the joke. It's a giant litter box.
The place
They kick sand over.
There are also different kinds.
Elsewhere.
ELSWAYR.
What is that? The backyard?
Basically, it's Tamriel's backyard.
There are different like
Jojo
kinds
reference.
of. There are different kinds of Khajiit too. Like there are like actual like tiger looking Khajiit.
Right, I heard they're like actual like four-legged quadrupedal.
Yeah.
It all depends on the position of the moon when they're born.
Yeah. They're all moon based. There was a very schizophrenic piece of media written by one of the main writers of the games after he was let go. That's considered non-canon, called Coda, which tells the eventual end of the Elder Scrolls universe. You cannot go to the website anymore. It's been completely erased from the internet.
Really?
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Because it's so fucking weird and crazy and it all makes sense.
Okay, you want to tell me it? From what you remember?
It's really fucking hard because of how strange it is.
It's really hard.
Like, the Numidium comes back and wages war on the moon with the Dark Elves or something. They do
Listen to that again. Wages of war on the moon.
Okay.
Not on the moon. On the moon. Like...
against it!
Fuck the moon.
And then,
Like that famous Yu-Gi-Oh card, Attack the Moon.
Attack the Moon,
Like
yeah.
Piccolo when he's trying to stop the monkey transformation.
Okay.
Fuck the moon. I'm the moon now.
Okay. Here.
The moon's not a tower. We don't need the moon.
Here's what I'm
the
gonna say.
moon needs us.
We've been going for about an hour and 40 minutes by this point.
Keep going.
For this last bit, I want to know about the end. Take as much time as you need to explain what you need to say.
I read it once
He's
a long
the
time ago.
guy for that
I read
one.
it once a long time ago. There's a lot of weird shit that doesn't make sense. That if even if you're really into the lore like Kaleb and I are, you still
Because you'll go like,
kinda,
what points led up to this? You know.
Here are the basics. The Dark Elves, the Tamriel, the entirety of the Earth, everybody's gone. It's like set on the moon. I think the only races that are still alive are the Dark Elves and the Khajiit. They developed not time travel, space travel, and like air dome cities and stuff like that. And it follows one guy who's like the house of like a future like dark elf like societal thing, whatever. The brass golem comes back. I don't know who's piloting it. I don't remember what it says. He has like a debate with it.
Wait.
The main character.
Okay, so the main character is like an OC.
Yeah.
Okay.
The main character has like a debate with it, and it like breaks down. There's a shit ton of stuff that happens in between. I just really don't remember it.
I'm sure
And the website's gone from the internet.
I'm sure someone's archived it.
Yeah, there's stuff online you can read about it. In the end, he marries Vivek because Vivek is like hermaphroditic,
Okay.
and they both ascend to Chim together, and that's it. Because it's pronounced Chim, not Chim. I don't. It's really you have to watch a video on it.
Fine.
It's fucking.
That's fine.
I can't. I wish I could give you more info.
No, that's
And
fine.
that doesn't even touch the Godhead.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why you're mentioning all this. My brain is like flipping through like Nier and Drakengard lore on a loop right now in my head. It's really crazy. That and like the story of like Trails, because they have a whole like 1,000 years before that shit happened that involved with like the knights and shit, and the black text.
Yeah. The Godhead is. Would you say it's another god, but like above?
It's like
It's not even.
what's the main Lovecraft god?
Azathoth.
It's Azathoth. That's all it is.
The Godhead is Azathoth. The entirety of the Elder Scrolls universe takes place in this thing's dreams. And achieving Chim is, I think...
Like escaping it?
Yeah, I think.
And that's one of the theories of what happened to the dwarves.
They escaped.
That they escaped canon.
They escaped reality. Or
I like that phrasing. They escaped
They
canon.
escaped canon.
They are now undefinable.
Yeah.
They're
That's why short people exist.
Yeah.
They're no longer data, I guess.
That's interesting.
It's like... I think that's one of the reasons why that's what the elves want to do. They want to attain godhood so they can remake the entire world in their image next. In the end of this dream.
What's funny is that the Sleepy Giant Inn in Riverwood is a reference to that.
Kind of, yeah.
On the sign, it's a sleeping old man with like the dream.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's the craziest thing about all of this? With all of this intense, like, high fantasy lore, you can go into Skyrim right now and mill grain for 10 gold.
It's the most mundane shit. You can cut trees.
You can cut wood.
You can cut wood. You can fish.
Did you want to adopt a child
fish.
from the street?
You can adopt a child from the streets.
You can build a home.
You can build a home.
You
have
can
sex
marry.
with your beautiful, lovely wife.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that.
You can sleep in bed with her, and that
There
gives
you
you
go.
a lover's
You know what you
bonus.
wanted to do? You ever wanted to do? Make a healing potion.
You can make a healing potion. You can combine an orange darner. You can combine some sort of wheatgrass. Boom.
You can
got a
do
healing
drugs.
potion. You can do drugs.
You can get drunk.
You can become the leader of a guild of thieves. You can enter into a fighters guild and beat the shit out of
You
people.
can run from one end of the continent to the other.
And that's all happening within this sleepy old man's dream.
You can temper a hide helmet.
Unsuccessfully.
You can make several thousand steel daggers to get your smithing up to 100, so you can finally afford to make dragon bone plate armor in one file, and then never touch that file again.
You can T-pose and clip into the Underforge.
You can clip
and
into
break
the
into
Underforge.
into Yorland
Greymane.
Greymane's hidden chest
And gather all
that
the
shouldn't
materials you need.
exist. You can go to Dawnstar
and clip in through the...
and look in an invisible space between three rocks in
and
front
it's
of a
all of the
mine.
Khajiit caravan's shit.
The entire economy of the traveling Khajiit merchant race is inside this chest, and you can
It's a
steal
developer.
it every 2 days.
But you know what you can do? You know what you can do to speed that up?
You can press the pad and wait.
No, not even that. You can find a Khajiit merchant. You got to make sure it's there in Dawnstar. You can save, punch him, reload, go back, and the shit's reset.
Yep.
That's the quick way to do it. It's. I love and hate Elder Scrolls for this
And
lore.
you can hold
And at the same time, the Vex's severed head is sucking off Molag Bal. What the fuck, X? Who wrote this shit?
Who wrote this?
These jokes are terrible. Who wrote this?
Wait a minute. Molag Bal was made from the shit of one of the other gods. That's real.
And at the same time, you
Well, no,
can,
that's Malakath.
at
Yeah,
the same
Malakath.
time, you can hold a torch and press the sprint
you
button.
can hold the torch
And the game
press
doesn't know how to calculate that.
You can hold
So you sprint forever!
You can hold a torch in one hand. Make sure your offhand isn't holding anything. Press the sprint button. Let go of the sprint button, and you can sprint forever. It's the Olympic torch run, and they have never patched it.
You're free.
They've
The
never
heroes
patched
of Sovngarde are currently investigating the disappearance of the god Shore. Simultaneously, I can pick up a bowl, hold it against the wall,
Against the wall.
and phase through reality.
it. And you get this.
You ever wanted to fly with a cauldron, Xavier?
You ever wanted to load another character's save over your save so you can continue to do things? There's a lot of weird glitches.
You can fight your ancestor at the summit of another dimension, and not once in the whole game will your character drink water.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
You gotta eat the lettuce.
You eat the lettuces, because
eat the
sometimes
lettuces.
money gets tight and you can't afford
gotta
potions,
eat
so
the
you gotta eat the lettuces. But water, that's too much. That's
go-
far too much.
You can
Bees in jars, we need that. Glasses of water,
We don't fuck that.
you.
Get that shit out of here. You can go into a plane of pure knowledge, a dimension made of pure knowledge and books, and fight the last Dragonborn.
But no, cheese wheels!
But you need
cheese wheels!
cheese wheels.
But you can spawn infinite cheese wheels off a mountain, teleport to the bottom of the mountain, and get smothered to death by falling dairy.
You can blot out the sun with a special bow wielded by Akatosh.
The same bow used to shoot Lorcant's heart into the Red Mountain. That's canon. It's the same one.
yeah. And at the same time,
And then you can adopt a dog.
A dog.
I was gonna say at the same time,
My man Vigilance was fed human meat, and it did nothing, but it gives humans powers.
You can marry Mule the Lioness and she will never die because she has a quest. And quest NPCs can never die. Her little weird little friend Aaron can follow you into your house and you can kill him. The guards won't do a thing.
She is Skyrim's Batman, and she... I'm not even kidding. And you know where she lives? She lives
In
literally
Brooklyn.
on top of the Court of Owls, and she doesn't know. This bitch, and I have to marry her every time because she can't
she is
die.
immortal. She is immortal.
You have to. It's the rules.
Because Court of Owls.
The Thieves Guild.
Fair enough.
and Bellator will still sell you his sister if he had one.
If he had one.
If he had
If
one,
he had one.
would sell you
He's
his
an
sister.
only child.
X,
Why
hey,
he-
X, do you go to the Cloud District very often?
Oh no, of course you don't.
What am I saying?
What am I saying?
No
Xavier?
lollygagging.
No.
Did someone take your sweet
like,
roll?
I used to be an adventurer like you, but then I took an arrow to the knee. Okay, then why are you a guard? Why? Why are you a guard? Guards run. Don't you need real knees
The guards
to run?
have to fight dragons.
Guys, it's like 11. Calm down. Oh, fuck.
Curfew has just started.
Oh,
No,
man.
it started like 3 hours ago.
No, it's 11 o'clock. You're not supposed to be too loud,
Oh, fuck, dude.
especially on the weekend.
So to sum it all up, Elder Scrolls is cool, but it also really not.
Helena Whitechick's the coolest character. There you go.
Bethesda handling Elder Scrolls is the only. I hate it, but it's the only way we're gonna get more Elder Scrolls shit.
Holy shit, dude. Like, I wanted to try and go to something else. There's just no way after that. That's great. You can't do anything after that entire little segment.
You
there.
can't.
My fucking throat hurts, dude.
Want some water?
Yeah, actually.
You can't. With the knowledge that we have, we can't do anything.
That's the biggest black pill of them all.
Like, Hell, that makes me want to research like trails more extensively because I only know like a little bit.
Yeah, please go. I want to hear you go on a what was this? A 2-hour-long rant.
Yeah.
I mean, you've heard me go on rants before. Like it just depends on the game series. Like I've ranted about Kingdom Hearts a bunch. Like the Trail series, just like it's like Skyrim in a way. It's so contained.
We were talking about time travel, and we got to
Because games with time travel.
Yeah, and so like.
And then you mentioned Skyrim.
Oh, fucking cheats, bro.
Set me off.
Yeah.
Fire.
Dragon Break.
Because like you have the main story which contains its own situation, and there's like a whole secret society and shit. But then it has like the entire situation that happened that created this thing called the rivalries. That there were two gods. There was one whole god called the Septarian of Zero. Mm-hmm. They got split in half to the Septarian of Steel and the Septarian of Fire, and they were ruled by two clans, the gnomes and the witches, and then they fucking fought. And the gnomes and the witches came to the agreement that we can't fight. The Septarians were too far gone by that point. Said, hey, one more fight, one more attack. Put your all into it. They hit each other so hard they blasted each other to the opposite ends of the world. Their bodies remain there to this day, and nobody knew where they came from unless you talked to a person that was related to it. And with that one punch, it created a new thing, and it created a new element that people were able to make.
So they fought each other so hard, they created a Hadron Collider incident.
Correct. And they used this ability to create 7 robots to determine the fate of the world. That's just a little bit.
You want to hear some schizo shit?
No.
Do you know Soul Turbo? Like, do you know
Oh god!
What?
Do you know what Soul Turbo is?
No.
It's a game about the main character is like a bounty hunter. It's like a world full of like dog and cat people.
It's like furry stuff, but not.
Yeah, no.
So these dog and cat people are actually heavily irradiated people that came from a war that happened far, far, far in the past of this world.
I feel like we had this conversation.
The world of Solar Robo is the continents of the world just floated up because of some like super weapon that happened in a previous game.
Okay.
There was more shit too, but it's.
Don't a lot of XC games have the same plot?
The game itself, there's a terminal because you go back to like the Earth, like because it's all above Earth. You go back to the world, and a terminal in this like super high tech futuristic thing mentions CyberConnect 2, the same company from Dot Hack.
It's not good.
And that's it. That's all it fucking mentions.
That the world almost blew up because of like 4 viruses.
Hey, this could be
and
that
the
world.
epitaphs are Morgana.
I don't know. There was recently
Sorry. That actually just like triggered like a rant response in my head. Do you know how like did you play the original series and GU? Which one did you play?
I didn't play him.
You didn't play any of them?
I'm just a little familiar with them.
So, let's see if I can remember this correctly. I'm gonna fuck it up. The epitaphs of Morgana are like 8 phases that create this final like being that destroys the internet and the world and technology, pretty much sending it back into a dark age.
Isn't that something to do with Skeeth?
Skeith is the first phase.
First of the phases.
The first phase of Morgana called the Terror of Death.
Mm.
Each one of these like phases has like an entire moniker attached to them, but at some point, one of the like elite hackers or whatever that made the game took each part of the phases and put their like life into different computer fucking generated codes, which allowed a lot of the players from from GU to be able to transform into these phases of Morgana. And did you watch any of the Dot Hack shit?
No.
Okay, so the character in Dot Hack Sign, who is a character by the name of Sora.
The guy that looks like the blue-haired kid from the original?
No. He's a twin blade. He has green hair. He was an asshole. He was a PKer. He gets fucking owned by Skaith by getting data drained or crucified data-wise by Skaith.
Yeah, he's got a giant wand that's like a crucifix.
Yeah, and when he pretty much puts him into a fucking coma for the entirety of the series. Once the main characters of the original game beat Skaith, he woke up, but he had memory loss. Did not remember who he was. That kid is the same kid who is the main character Haseo in
GU?
In GU.
Oh, okay.
And the only reason why he can turn to Scathe, or he has that epitaph in Morgana, is because he was data drained by Scathe.
Is that why his original form has like 50 belts?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a lot of
Like
belts.
he was such a
50
side
belts.
character, but he became so important.
More belts than a Final Fantasy character?
Yeah,
Nobody can beat Lulu.
I don't know what the design is.
Look up Lulu.
I'll do that. From Hack You?
No, Lulu from Final Fantasy X. Big titty goth GF.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
It's a lot of belts.
A goth girl that...
Oh shit, you're right, yeah.
Show me.
Show me.
She got a dress made
Oh,
of
I've
belts.
seen her.
Yeah, Lulu.
Big titty goth. Do you promise?
Yeah, no, but yeah. I have like snippets of lore. It doesn't hit as hard as Kingdom Hearts does in here. Devil May Cry is like, it's so linear that it's okay.
Look at these. There's a lot of belts.
His outfit doesn't look... That one's fine compared to his third form.
Yeah.
I'm surprised his shoes don't have belts.
There's a lot of belts.
There's a lot of belts.
I'm trying to think of like
Belts.
one of the games that I've had like such a powerful like impact on me that I can remember everything about its lore, and it's escaping me right now.
He's got belts in places that most people don't even have places.
He's got places and belts that most people don't even have places.
He's
What?
Wait.
He's belts.
Like my brain is so fucked right now.
Places,
Just
no
trying
belt.
to think of like video game lore.
We should save that for next time because we've been going on for a while. All right.
See ya when we see you next time.
Yeah, we'll
people.
see you next time.
I apologize to the audience for going on an
No,
unhinged
no,
Michael
that was
Pride
fucking
rant.
beautiful, dude.
Don't fucking
That was
apologize.
beautiful. I
that was your
that shit.
That was your Willem Dafoe.
I achieved kind.
That was your Willem Dafoe fucking feverishly pouring over the Quran moment.
Oh man, that was wild.
I love you all. Bye.
See you later, fellas.